Jason Gregor alongside Connor Halley. Donnie P still running things at YouTube, Facebook, and X. So give him a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. We always appreciate that. We got lots to talk about. Another little juicy story in the off season, just picking up today. And there'll be lots of speculation. I'm not sure I see a fit in Edmonton for Dylan Larkin, but Larkin is like, I'm out. He is not interested in staying in Detroit anymore. And, hey, I can understand why. He voiced his displeasure last offseason. Remember when he felt like they did nothing at the trade deadline? So Dylan Larkin was drafted 15th overall in 2014. He then spent 1 year at the University of Michigan. Then he turned pro. Right into the NHL as a rookie, 23 goals in his first year. Got in the playoffs that year. Now, they didn't win, but they made the playoffs. Since then, nada. 3, 4, 5. Look at, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That's a decade. 10 years for Dylan Larkin sans playoffs. And he has decided that, you know what? I think I'd like to take my talents elsewhere. And you look at Dylan Larkin, he has 5 years remaining at $8.7 million. I'm sure he looks at it and says, man, like, I don't want to be like Buffalo, because there's no guarantee Detroit's making the playoffs next year. None. So Dylan Larkin, all of a sudden, and I'll say this, there'll be lots of interest because there's lots of teams. Dylan Larkin on a cup contending team, I think would be a really good number 2 center. Really good number 2 center. He is like Dylan Larkin has he's pretty consistent, 70, 65, 70 point player, right? He has scored 70 points once in his career, but to me, not once, 3 times he scored 70 points, 73, 79, 70, 67, 69, 69. Still pretty consistent, right? I'm sure if we average it out, he's not a point a game player. He has he's scored 30 goals for the last 5 consecutive seasons. So and he scored another time, so 6-time 30-goal guy. You call him a 30-goal, 68-point player, I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. Obviously, 79 is his career high. Could he get there on another team? Very possible. He is 29 years of age. He will turn 30 on July 30th. So lots of time left. You're going to get him for the age of 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Those are the 5 years left on his deal. I think there'll be lots of interest for Dylan Larkin. And if you're the Detroit Red Wings, the problem is it's going to be hard to get fair return as far as 1-to-1. If you're trading the best player in the deal, usually you lose the trade. Now, sometimes it works out for you, and sometimes it evens out for both teams. It's happened. Right? You look at, now, he's obviously not Eric Lindros. Right? Eric Lindros, that trade worked out for the Flyers. They were really good, and obviously worked out quite well for the Quebec Nordiques. If you were to look back and said Forsberg for Lindros 1-on-1, that'd have been a pretty fair trade. Not to mention everybody else that got thrown in there, Huffman and Duchesne and, draft picks and Chris Simon, etc. We all know who was involved in the trade, or maybe you remember most of the names. So Dylan Larkin's not going to get that big of a haul, but I look at teams that he would be interested in. And I think it's a fun exercise. So you look around, and people are going to say right off the hop, Vegas. Well, Vegas is always in on things, but I'm not sold 100%, but we all know that they're never afraid. What do they have to offer? That would be the main question. All right. Colorado, I don't think so. But you never know. They got a lot of pieces. The one off the top of my head is Dallas. What if you have a Dylan Larkin, Jason Robertson? The basis of a trade. Now, Detroit, you're trading a center for a winger. That's the problem. But who knows? Now, Robertson only has 1 year left. Actually, no, he has 1 year left before he's unrestricted free agents. He's got 1 year of RFA. He's going to get paid. But if you're looking at a guy who, if you're Dallas, I think you do that trade tomorrow. Detroit, you're like, we're giving up a center and we're taking a winger who's going to cost us more. You probably need something else in return. Minnesota would love Dylan Larkin. Like when I look at teams who need him, I might put Minnesota at the top of the list for competitive teams, right? Because Dylan Larkin's, he's going to want to go to a competitive team, right? He's got a full no trade clause, so he's going to have a say in it. And this is, we could get into a whole argument. For me personally, if you have a no movement clause and you ask for the trade, I think that changes things. And you've got to say, okay, you're asking for a trade that had a full no movement clause. I would put it in the wording of a contract. If you have a full no movement clause and you ask for a trade, you have to submit us a list of 20 teams. Maybe 20 is too much. 10 teams that we can trade you to. Because otherwise, you're saying, hey, wait a sec. The player gets all the protection they want, and then they get to choose where they're going. And then usually that means we get less in the trade. I don't like that deal. Now, if the team asks you, well, guess what? Now you can control everything. I'm okay with that. But if you ask, it should be at least 10 teams. Because we could go through the list of teams that got no chance to land Dylan Larkin. Right? We don't know who those teams are. Just based on where they're going. In that, some people text in, what about Vancouver? Detroit's not trading Dylan Larkin for Elias Pettersson. Like, first of all, he makes $3 more million. He hasn't been nearly as competitive. No chance. But Minnesota, to me, is an intriguing option. They need a center. They've got a very aggressive general manager in Bill Guerin. He knows Dylan Larkin from the Olympics. And I look at, now, who do they have to give up? That's the challenge, right? I think right away, Danila Urhoff would be one of the top guys for sure. Maybe we're talking a top pick at the draft. Jacob Middleton on the back end. And now they have John Gibson for one more year. But you have Gustafsson and you have Jesper Wallstedt. Now, the problem is when you have Gibson for 1 year, do you want Gibson and Philip Gustafsson? I guess you could do it for 1 year. But I could see a potential trade option there if you're the Detroit Red Wings. Minnesota's at least an option, and it's out of the conference. It's another factor. Because if I'm Detroit, I really don't want to trade Dylan Larkin in my own division if I can avoid it. Now, if somehow one of those teams comes up with the best offer, okay, I'd consider it. But Buffalo, I don't see it. Tampa Bay, well, they could always use him, but Tampa Bay's got a lot of forwards. Boston Bruins, hello. Boston Bruins need Dylan Larkin. But if you're Detroit, who's one of the teams that you're going to be battling for the playoffs the next years? It's the Boston Bruins. Do I really want to trade Dylan Larkin to the Boston Bruins? Probably not. Florida, I don't see it. They got so many guys come back from injury. I just don't see it. So, is there a team you see? Carolina? Probably not. He'd be a Carolina player, don't get me wrong. But Antolsky's being aggressive, so I can't totally count him out. Philadelphia? With could there be a Michkov, something else, potential deal there? Who knows? But what about Dylan Larkin for Matt Barzal? Right? There was the rumblings out of New York that maybe they would shop him. If that was, what do you make of a basis of a trade? Obviously, there'd have to be some other pieces there involved, but I'd be curious. I think there's going to be some good, healthy discussion around Dylan Larkin. Cons, you got any ideas on guys that or teams that you think could be fits for Dylan Larkin?
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was the Minnesota Wild, and they've got the space. I think adding a player like him would be good. I kind of have to scoff at anything like Vancouver. No, he hasn't been in the playoffs since year one. He wants to be in the postseason. I think that's why he's making this trade request. So it has to be a team, in my opinion, that's a contender. I joked Vegas because they're in on everyone. I don't think they can find a way to make that work unless they sell off someone this offseason. Sitting beside Donovan here, he threw out the idea of the Montreal Canadiens as a team who might want to look to add. Obviously, they're in that competitive division as well, trying to fight for playoff positioning with a lot of good teams. So I could see that as an option. But to me, I think Minnesota Wild is just a good option. It keeps them in somewhat in the area, and they need to add weapons to keep up with potentially the Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. So that would be the one for me. And I like what you said with Bill Guerin. I think he's the GM to go out there and do it. Would a team on the rise be an option? Like, would the Anaheim Ducks potentially look to make a move? We had heard that Mason McTavish wasn't really in favor. There was some rumblings there, some healthy scratch. Maybe he gets a new start in Detroit, but maybe that's something to look at. But I think those are the teams that come to mind for me.
Gregor, what about Edmonton? Edmonton's got Draisaitl and McDavid. And unless you feel that you're going to play those two together exclusively, I don't think you need a second line center. Because if you're trading for Dylan Larkin, you're going to have to give up some good pieces. So, even if you start with Ike Howard, you got to give up way more than that. Right? So you would look at it. Stan Bowman's not doing his job if him and his team aren't sitting in their office right now saying, okay, what's a potential trade package we think could work here? Would we be interested? If we get Dylan Larkin, we assume Draisaitl's playing with McDavid, right? Otherwise, you're not just trading for Dylan Larkin to be your third line center. That makes no sense. So that would have to be the initial start of the conversation. But I don't see it. Plus, Dylan Larkin's American, and the Americans playing in Canada isn't. That's a thing that some don't like it. Like we can't sit here and pretend that that's not the case. So we'll see where it goes. Will be a fun little extra storyline to follow during the season for sure. Coming up on the show today, Landon Ferraro will join us. Farhan Lalji, CFL is back, baby. Tonight, Hamilton, Montreal should be a really good game. Corey Lavalette will join us from Carolina, game 2. Hurricanes in a need a win situation. Bad, man. You go down 2-0. Can you come back? Yes, it's happened. It's rare. Very rare. So, Spec will be by. We got Tate in the 2-minute warning. Livingston, David Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor. TR could be joining us. He is stuck in the airport right now. Not happy. Not happy. There's something about flight delays that can set off even the calmest human being. All right, your day's going well. All of a sudden, the announcement comes on. Flight 642 to Toronto has been delayed. And you're just like, whoa. Now, unless you've got no real play, no timeline and where you want to go, you're kind of like, oh, all right. It's always worse when it's a flight delay on your way home. I find you're kind of like, you don't want to be away for a while. I want to get home. Now, it sucks if you're leaving somewhere and you're on a tight deadline. You're flying out Friday night or Friday or something because you got to get to a wedding or what have you. That can be a little unnerving. But I have seen even the calmest person suddenly go from 0 to 100 quickly when it comes to delayed flights. So that's where TR is right now. He's not in a happy place. He is not in a happy place. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Yeah, we might have to, so Connor, you get one team. One team, that's it. Donovan, you can chime in. You're one team on where you think Dylan Larkin gets traded. It's obviously difficult, but you got to pick one.
I'm going Anaheim. I talked myself into it.
Ooh.
Mason McTavish goes the other way. He gets a fresh start. We know the management team there is not afraid to make moves. They brought in some vets in the past, and I think that would be a good start for him. He's got some American teammates there from the Olympic team, I believe. So I think that would be my pick. The Duke will be very happy.
I know everyone's going to say Minnesota, and initially my first thought was Minnesota, but the more I thought about it, I know it's in division and it'd be a really tough trade, but there's just something about the Montreal Canadiens and how bad they lack a second line center and I think they have that kind of unique combination of just NHL ready enough young guys that Detroit could be maybe enticed. Maybe you could see a David Reinbacher plus. I don't know. They have a lot of young players in Montreal that I could see Detroit taking a swing at. To me, I don't know. Could you see Kirby Dach go the other way with David Reinbacher and, some other really talented young guys? I don't know. It'd be an interesting thought.
There you go. It will be. So that's Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, I could. Right in the division, that's the hardest part. Like Montreal probably has to pay more.
Oh, of course,
right? Than
but
other
they're
teams.
so desperate for a second line center.
That's true. No, you're very true on that. There's no doubt about that. So it's it'll be fascinating leading up to the draft. Any teams with draft picks, right? Like does the St. Louis trade all of a sudden? Kyrou, Thomas, who knows? There's going to be some intriguing discussions over the next few weeks. We got a lot of Nugent Hopkins for Larkin. Come on, guys. Right? Like, no, it's not happening. Right? Nugent's older. It's not as productive. It's not happening. Quick break. We'll return to the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for slushy lovers. Because while a slushy keeps you cool as an 80s song for a moment, AC from Legacy keeps you cold as ice all season long. A permanent full-body slushy sensation keeping you cold as ice with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Keeping you cool without the brain freeze. That's how you build a legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we've got your back.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Carrion's weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, buddy. How can you not want to shake a leg to this song? Killer tune, man. Killer tune. For those who like to get on bust out the ones and twos, man. Crushing the planks. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Pivotal game 2 tonight. Hurricanes and the Vegas Golden Knights. Of course, it's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We have a little Hurricanes action for you. Also, if you want to get in on it early, how about the Elks? Are they going to start the season with a win for the first time ever as the Elks? I think so. It's been a long time coming for green and gold fans. I think the drought ends. The win your first game of the season drought that has been going on this entire decade. It ends Saturday night. And we have a little CFL MLB parlay action for you to get in on at PlayAlberta.ca. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson with you as we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches will safely take you or your group, wedding, parties, road trips for your teams. I got all silentrides.ca. Landon Ferraro, former NHLer, former Detroit Red Wing, joins us now. And Lando, what do you make of the Dylan Larkin trade request? And I would assume for a guy who has scored 31, 32, 33, 30, 34 goals in each of the last 5 seasons, anywhere from 69 to 79 points, he will be sought after.
Yeah, well, my first thought was I wish, 11 years ago when he first came, that he wouldn't have come that quick. Because I was making that team out of camp, and then all of a sudden he shows up, and I knew from our first captain's skate, I'm like, I think this kid might be taking that one extra spot that's sitting here. No, like his body of work speaks for itself, and you can even argue that there's a lot more there considering what he's had and the teams that have been around him for the past decade. Some really good players, but it's pretty easy to say when you don't make playoffs for that long, there was a lot of extra work that could have been done to help that along and help that situation. That's a guy that is, he's from Michigan, loved being drafted there, went to Michigan, like everything is a Red Wing. It was meant to be that he gets drafted and spends a career there, and he wanted to do that. But I mean, I understand why he would want out at this point. You're right. There's going to be a number of teams that are going to be jumping all over that. And that's a good place for Yzerman to be in a sense, right? You don't want your captain gone, but you're going to be getting that one heck of a haul back for him.
Yeah. Well, we had Anaheim, Minnesota, Montreal. There's lots of teams that are looking for a second line center. I know Oiler fans hey, get him in Edmonton. And I'm like, sure, you could do it in Edmonton, but I look at Edmonton. Hey, Dylan Larkin wouldn't hurt your team, but with Draisaitl and McDavid, if you acquire Larkin, it means you're saying, okay, Draisaitl and McDavid are going to play full time together, and maybe that's your plan. Maybe you would do it then. So there'd be Darnell Nurse plus to make a trade happen. I think for Dylan Larkin. So I'm not sold. Plus, we know that some Americans don't want to play in Canada. That's just the reality of the league. So I just look at Minnesota, Anaheim, or Montreal. Which one do you think would be the most aggressive to land them?
Oh, I mean, Montreal, like we see where they're at right now, and they have pieces and they're looking for that second line center. Not saying that he's your prototypical, but if you're running him and Suzuki together, you feel pretty confident moving on. I don't see Minnesota being the target there. To me, out of those three, it's Anaheim or Montreal. And really, it's up to him at that point because they both have more than enough to be able to make the deal done. And I'm sure they're both going to be in on it because they know how much faster that can move their team in the right direction. It's just really who's gonna be able to pay more. I see him wanting to go, if you take out the Canadian part of it, because I don't know where he stands on that, but if you're looking at where the teams are, I mean, both directions are pretty solid. He's a fast player that can jump into different parts of the lineup and really help things along. You can see his fit in both those spots. I don't know if it's just me wanting to see him in Montreal, but like that would be a really fun 1-2 to watch.
Yeah, it is. It would be good. So, you look at Detroit though, like this is a big concern. A team hasn't made the playoffs in a decade. And now their captain, guy who's been there for the last decade, he wants out, right? You got Mo Seider, you got Lucas Raymond. So if you're Detroit, though, I just can't see them being in a position to trade Dylan Larkin for one, roster player who's not as good in picks, right? Like they're going to try to find a way to make a trade that allows them to stay competitive.
They have to, right? Like that market needs to be back in the playoffs, and they need to figure this out and get moving. When I was part of the Wings organization when they were in the last 2 years of making the playoffs on that, what was it? Did they get to 24 years? Was it straight of making playoffs?
Yeah, 24. It was 24.
Yeah, it was right in that, within a couple of that. And, you saw all the moves being made to not just try and win a championship, but just keep that streak alive because they felt pressure that they had to. We saw, being in Grand Rapids, we saw Calle Jarnkrok get traded, a young first year in the American League, Calle Jarnkrok get traded for David Legwand for just a playoff push, right? There's a lot of moves made like that towards the end of that playoff run that was going to set them back. And so when they get into that rebuild, if you think a fast rebuild is 3 or 4 years, like a Montreal, it was going to be longer than that because they did not have the prospects waiting to jump up in. They traded all those. And that's again where I give Larkin a lot of credit. Like he stayed multiple more years because he knew that. He knew they were playing from a deficit. He was the first high pick they'd taken in a number of years, right? So it's an interesting situation of, you want roster players back, but are you going to be able to pull enough that it makes sense to try and force maybe a playoffs in the next 2 years? Or do you go with the younger and picks and accept that we've got to retool this again?
Well,
it's not a fun place to be in.
Yeah. It would not be great for sure. So yeah, like I thought there's pressure on Steve Yzerman before because they haven't won anything since he's been there. Now, not only do you have the pressure to try to get in the playoffs, you got the pressure to try to facilitate a trade that allows your team not to take a step backwards again. And so that'll be a big challenge. Speaking of big challenge, the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, they didn't love how they played. I'm sure Vegas would tell you, hey, we didn't love our defensive game either, but Vegas won again because they can score. You make mistakes, Vegas will capitalize on. And that's what they've done. I think that's the 7th game this playoffs. They've scored at least 4 more goals. And obviously, no surprise, they won them all. So you look at Carolina, they're going to want to play better defensively, but at the same time, they have to pressure and attack. Like they can't sit back. So how do you what do you think has to change for them to be victorious tonight?
To me, that was the first game that, obviously it's not the first one they've lost in the playoffs on this run, but it was the first game that felt like, oh crap, like we've actually met our match or superior, right? With the size, the skating, the forechecking, that relentless style that Vegas likes to play. And even though Carolina got off to a good start, once Vegas started to push back and start grabbing some momentum, it was the first time. I don't want to fully go and say this word, but it did seem like it a bit. Like it was the first time you saw a bit of panic in their own end. And blanking on the goal now, it was a pass from the below the goal line, but because they play that man on man all over in their D zone,
Yeah.
they had the D chasing behind the net, and then it was.
Well, is that the hurdle winning goal you're talking about? Because that's when Gostisbehere basically kind of chasing around the net. He comes up the wall.
Yeah.
They do that little give and go, and then he's not able to get to the slot.
Yeah, because also the forward Aho was standing in front, and then he dives out because the D got beat getting out from behind the net. That's what teams are looking for against a man-on-man defense, is the second help coming because you've beat your player, and now you've got the next player running. Well, if Aho's coming below the goal line, that means someone has to be open behind him. So you can start to pick those apart. That's where Carolina, they're so good in their own system. They have to trust it. They have to stay within that, because as soon as you try and go off on your own plan, well, things open up behind you, and this team in Vegas is too good not to take advantage of that. So it's just having more belief in the defensive side and the fact that you're going to score. We just need to keep it strong in our own end.
Landon Farrar joins us here, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. The Carolina Hurricanes are obviously, like, I think it's pretty much a must-win game. It's early on in a series. You lose game one at home. It's, this is different if it's in round 1 or 2 sometimes, because usually you're playing, a team lower in the standings than you significantly. Vegas is a team that won the West. You go down 0-2. Could you come back? Sure. I just think it's really, really difficult to say now you're suddenly going to have to win 4 or 5 and win at least 2 on the road if you're Carolina. So I would think desperation kicks in. On the other side, though, you're Vegas, no pun intended here, but you're playing with house money a little bit tonight. You could really put the hammer down. And so while there's pressure, it seems like it's a looser pressure if you're Vegas. It's more like opportunity is here for Vegas.
Yeah, you're feeling pressure both ways. It's Stanley Cup Finals. You're going to be thinking of everything, but you're right. For Vegas, starting on that side, like, it is a bit more of pressure of taking advantage of the situation you've put yourself in. The classic line of you're never in trouble until you lose one at home. Well, they were able to go in and take the first one on the road. So they've already done their job. Of course, they're not going into tonight's game thinking like, it doesn't matter if we win or lose. We come out with a split, we're happy. They see a real opportunity. And I would have said the same exact thing if Carolina won the first game, that the second game is going to be super important. More so than other years, because I think these teams are so close. And it's going to get even tighter as the series goes along. I think they each had their emotions spike in the first game. First time being there for a lot of the guys, less on Vegas, but still there's a lot of players making their first final starts. So getting through that, but for Carolina, looking at it, again, it's about trusting yourself. I don't think they should feel pressure. I think they should be excited that they've pushed through and gotten to the Cup final. And knowing that it's not just we've pushed through and we're happy to be here. They showed that they can play. They showed that they can take a lead against Vegas. It's just about being able to hold those pushes when it comes. But you are right. That first goal of the game, especially the second, if it goes against Carolina, like, it's going to be big. You're going to see them feel that every time, because as you get into the finals, it's not like the first round like you laid out. There's not going to be a young team that have 2 really good games and then just fall apart. Vegas isn't going to do that. You got to be able to go in there and grab it and take it for yourself.
Moving to in your backyard in Vancouver, how significant of roster changes do you think you're going to receive as far as the Canucks between now and next season?
I think a decent amount. I don't think as much as, I watched the press conference today, and I've already, read some of the articles that have come out, and there's quite a few people thinking that there's going to be massive trades this summer. And if they do make them available and find the right thing, I don't think they're going to be shy to pull those. But I don't think it's going to be as quick as everyone's kind of expecting. I do think there's a number of vets that are going to be gone. The first one that comes to mind is Jake DeBrusk, right? Like that scoring winger that's on a longer deal still at a reasonable cap hit. There's a lot of teams that would be interested in a player like that could provide some secondary scoring, hopefully putting him in a better position with a better team, that it won't be as streaky as a scorer. He really struggled to score 5-on-5 this year, but his power play numbers were insane. He's so good at the net front. So that one, to me, that's a piece you move. I imagine he wants to be in a different spot as well, so that one's a bit easier. You can talk about Elias Pettersson all you want. There is a lot of hurdles to be able to make that move. I think that they would make it instantly if they found something that they could stomach and not be scared to tell the media about the trade? I think they pull it in a second. But the bigger one to me is DeBrusk and then Hronek. Hronek is the guy that I think they have to find a way to find a partner. It won't be hard. He's a top pairing right-handed defenseman that can play big minutes and shown that he can do it when he was left. He's got a full no trade, so it's in his court, but that piece to me is the one that should be moved because it's the biggest assets you're going to get in return. Yeah,
that is that's totally fair. 833-401-1440 is where you can text us. Lastly, Landon, the Memorial Cup was just in your province, and we saw Landon Dupont in Everett, and now he's going to go to NCAA. But it was interesting. I'm looking at Denver's blue line. And they got 4 really good young defensemen all on the same team, but only one of them is going to get to play the power play, and all of them probably could play the power play. Do you I wonder if some of these players are not really giving themselves a benefit of the doubt. Yeah, they're going to a stacked team, but you're in the development stage of your career, and you're not going to get to develop certain parts of your game because simply there's not enough opportunity or ice time for all those guys on one good team.
Yeah, I mean, that's where Dupont's family and his agent or advisor, whatever they're called at this point in the NCAA changing rules thing, that's where those conversations are going to be had to have with all the teams that he's going to be talking to. You're going to need assurances. The other thing that'll work in his favor is he's the projected number 1 pick. He's an unbelievable player. You're not going to take him on your team and not put him in a lot of places because you'll never get that next top guy. And not that you can completely sewer the guys that are already on your team and brought in, but there's no way, if I'm Landon Dupont, there's no way I'm going to a university where I don't have a lot of assurances of at least till Christmas, you're guaranteed this, and then you've got to earn it from there. But I'd want a long runway, right? It's free agency, essentially. You get to be the one in the driver's seat. There's a lot of, I imagine there's a lot of those universities that would love to add that potential first overall pick like Penn State did with McKenna last year. The buzz that it brought to school, I imagine the extra money that it brought in, going on the road and playing home games, all of that. So again, it's all about the conversations and making sure you have a really clear map of what is in front of you and you're comfortable with it. The other thing, not to ramble on here, but those types of players that are at the McKennas, the Landon Duponts, McDavid when he was younger, as much as I'm saying you want these assurances, they don't want everything given to them either, right? They just want to be a guy on the team, yet their work rate and their skill elevates them above that. If I'm Dupont's agent or whatever, I want him to take a bit of the harder road. Not take the one where you're guaranteed every playing minute, but push yourself because you are that confident in your abilities and you want to be able to show the NHL scouts and GMs that you're not afraid of a challenge and that you trust yourself that much.
Yeah, well, it'll be fascinating to see it. And lastly, I don't know if you had a chance to read or not today, but Speck had an article about he thinks that Darnell Nurse is and the Oilers are headed for a separation, shall we say. So when you look at that situation for Edmonton, how imperative is it in the trade to get a defenseman in return? Or can you look at and if it's not a defenseman in return, then they have to have a backup plan, either free agency or another trade right away. Because, regardless, I know that Nurse makes a lot of mistakes and there's lots of areas of his game, like, his hockey sense. I'm not sure it's improving. It is what it is at this point. It's very athletic, does a lot of things, competes hard to get all that. How do you view the moving of Nurse? Do you just want to get rid of the salary, or do you feel there has to be more thinking to it?
Well, I mean, there definitely has to be more thinking to it, right? And because I agree with where you were starting that of, like, you can't just get rid of his salary. If you do that, you better have a couple D that can eat the minutes that he's played. Yeah, he makes mistakes. Yeah, you'd like him to make better reads from time to time, but he plays 20 minutes and he plays hard. Who are you getting to replace that? If this was a different team, yeah, we're talking Vancouver. If Nurse was Vancouver, or if Edmonton was Vancouver, yeah, try and get out of that contract and give it away. Just be done with it. Because you're not trying to win. You're on a deadline with McDavid. And I know he's got a 2-year contract. I don't think there's a chance that he makes it to 2 years if they trade Darnell Nurse and don't bring in people that are actually going to help and fill those minutes. That doesn't help him get to his goal. So they need to make sure that if they're making a trade for players, that those guys are them that can fill that. If it's just to get rid of it and start fresh, like you said, they better have a plan of who they're signing or who else they're making a trade for, because you can't take 20 minutes out of the lineup and move Emberson up to eat more minutes, right? Like, Emberson can do what he can do. You can't just keep elevating because you don't have the right people in place.
Great stuff, buddy. We appreciate it. Have yourself an awesome weekend, and we will chat with you next Thursday.
Awesome. Have a good one.
There you go. That is Landon Ferraro. Join us every Thursday here on Sports 1440. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donnie P with you, sports1440.ca. Take a quick break. We'll return. And, man, the trade rumors are flying around today, so we'll have some fun with that. And, speaking of trades or tastings, we'll try some next. On the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
I've got some good news if you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck. The 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a Sport Performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaq-beaded memory foam for exceptional comfort. Made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at the Brick, saving you more.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Did you know there are actually 3 seasons we experience in June? Spring, summer, and construction season. And while roads may be narrowed and detours are everywhere, GS construction crews are on site every day doing the work because the city doesn't stop, and neither do we. As we build and upgrade infrastructure, life continues around us. That's why we never lose sight of what matters most, making sure everyone, including our team, returns home safely at the end of the day. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and 5 years ago, a lot of people bought their first RV. Not because they were really into the RVing, but because camping was literally the only thing you could do with your vacation time. You couldn't go on a cruise, travel was a nightmare. So you bought an RV and you enjoyed it. But now you have all your options back again. And that RV you bought during COVID might be sitting around costing you money.
An RV needs love, care, and attention whether you use it or not, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. It's okay to declare it was the right solution for the time, but those times have changed. And you might find that an RV doesn't fit your plans anymore. And that's okay, because we can sell it for you. Pass it along to a family that would choose camping over anything else available in the world today. So bring it to No Bull RV. Together, we'll celebrate what it did for you when you needed it and what it can do for you now that it's time to move on.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer for Yanmar compact equipment. Machines built tough for the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmar compact track loaders with AFV, ASV, Posi Track at Emerald Equipment.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
$2.50. A lovely Thursday afternoon. How are you? Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely Thursday. Another nice day out there. Enjoy it. After a few days, although it's funny, man, you go a few days without the sun here in the Edmonton area. We're just so used to it. You kind of take it for granted. Then all of a sudden it's cloudy for a few days. You're like, whew. Like I've always said it, man. Like you read about seasonal depression in people. I get it. I don't know how those people, God love them, live in Vancouver in that area where you got no sun. No thanks. No, I will take the cold because even when it's cold those days, I've been there. You've all been there. You wake up, yeah, it's minus 20, but the sun's out. And man, it makes a difference. So hopefully that big ball of orange is more prevalent sooner than later. As it's time now to get to Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, your best option if you're looking for cocktails, wine, beer, anything non-alcoholic. They got the best selection in the city, 2 locations, Southeast, and of course the original on 118th and St. Albert. Trailers. David Owens joins us once again from Dave, look at you, just get a new haircut.
Some fresh cut here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was getting a little out of control there for a bit. It was yeah, my Jeff Jackson was going out. It was going wild there for a bit.
Was.
Yeah. So, but I'm looking forward to some sunshine here coming up soon because, yeah, this is depressing out there.
It can be a little bit,
It's,
yes.
it's a little tough. It's a little tough. Yeah.
Yeah, you take it for granted when all of a sudden you don't have some sun for
Absolutely.
a few days, right?
Absolutely.
So even when it's like plus 12, the sun's out, just feel better.
Feels better.
So today, what do we got? We got a mixture of beverages.
Yeah,
What are we
got a whole
going
bunch
with
of
today?
stuff here. So we kind of thought we got World Cup coming up.
Oh,
right?
okay. So we got some world beers.
So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to do some beers from from a whole bunch of different countries that are in the World Cup. And, it's a big time for us all the time. Every time the World Cup comes around, all the people come out of the woodwork looking for their countries. They want to go, drink some beers, have a good time, want to drink, beers from their countries. Well, we have got them all. Sherbrooke, we've started doing these world beers before anybody else. And so this group we have today, we've got some teams from Group A and Group B. There are some countries represented anyways.
Okay.
So we've got Canada here. We've got an African beer representing the African continent with South Africa in there. We've got a Korean beer, a Czechoslovakian beer, and Canada, of course.
Okay, so what are we starting with?
So we're going to start on the left there with the Modelo Especial, and so this is a huge beer. This is actually the most popular beer, best-selling beer in the United States. So in 2023, Modelo Especial, it ended a 22-year reign of Bud Light.
Really?
And has been the number one selling beer in the U.S. since then. This beer is fantastic.
Wait a second. Bud Light was the number one beer in the U.S. for 22 years?
22 years.
Just when I thought the Americans couldn't have worse taste.
Right?
You prove it.
There you have it.
God, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
Bud
I
Light
hear you.
is not a flavor.
This is
my
a
God,
way
this is
better
really
beer.
Good, yeah.
This is a great light lager. It's got some flavor to it, right? It's pale gold. It's got a little bit of a floral hop to it. Got some of the grain flavor that's actually in it. So it's a nice lager with that. Now, what's really cool about beers like this too, if you want to mess around with them a little bit, you can actually make a beer spritz out of these things. So they got that nice bubble, that nice light beer. You take crack one of these bottles open, take a good sip out of it, an ounce and a half, and then top it up with like Aperol or Campari. Got yourself a spritz. Beer spritz.
Have you ever had a beer spritz?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Really?
It's so good. It sounds so weird. It's amazing.
A beer spritz.
Beer spritz. Wait for that sunshine to pop. You try this. I'm
Okay.
telling you right now.
Okay.
It is
okay.
amazing.
Wow. All right. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'd have to try one. I've learned not to say no before at least trying it.
That's right.
Right. I'm not a toddler. I'm not a young kid.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah.
want to try that. So
Yeah, gotta give it a go. So it's a great beer. The Modelo group, they're huge, right? It's Corona, Pacifico, the Negra Modelo too. Their dark is
the Negra Modelo.
delicious.
I prefer the dark one.
Yeah,
I do for sure.
But,
This is
so
good.
there
I've
you go.
never had
So
that
for
beer.
our Mexican group out there, obviously host city as well. That's great. Moving on here. This is a Kenyan beer. We don't have any South African beers. We do have some South African wine in a can though. If you're
Okay.
looking for that stuff, we got some Spear. But this is but the Kenyans, a little cheer for the South Africans.
Okay.
So we brought in some Tusker.
All
so
right.
this is a really this is one of my favorite, clean lager beers that are out there. So
Yeah, very, very clean, simple
very
lager.
keen, yeah, light gold, good carbonation. And again, a little bit of the mild grain.
Ooh.
Oh, and a little bit of malt sweetness to it. And clean, dry finish. So this is
It has a little. I was just gonna say it's got a drier taste to a beer than I've had.
super dry finish. This is made for hot African weather.
Yeah, I can see it, man.
And as someone who has had the absolute
And it's
pleasure of being in
4.2%.
Africa,
Yeah.
drinking beer like this in Africa is bang on. Yeah, it's 4.2%.
Yeah.
So nice, light, easy. All of these beers, I don't think there's anything over 5.2 in here. So this is a cool fun fact about Tusker also. So they've been brewing this in Nairobi since 1922, but they've got the name Tusker because one of the founders of this company he was trampled by an elephant. So they
I shouldn't laugh, but
right.
That's many years ago. Why?
Many years ago. It was over 100 years ago.
Things that happen in Africa that aren't going to happen here, right? Unless Lucy goes on a rampage and you're out at
That's
the
right.
zoo, it's probably not happening
That's
here.
right. So he was killed by an elephant. He was out hunting, so maybe serves him right.
Yeah.
But so they've named the beer after an elephant, and it's
Tusker.
stuck.
I like
Tusker.
it. Okay.
Yeah, great beer. Super popular. We blow through it, all the time.
Really?
Yeah, great beer.
I can see why. Yeah, it's very tasty. I like that. I've never had a beer with a little bit of a dry taste.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
got a nice dry.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's
it does.
so great. Think about mowing a lawn on a hot day, doing yard work, things like
baby.
that. This beer is your
Mhm.
savior. At the
Yeah,
end of it.
I think most guys, when it's really hot out there, like the heavy ales, they don't really taste as
like
good.
a great, clean, crisp
Yes.
lager like this. And again, with the light going into soccer season, watching your footy team, light on the alcohol. We got great time zones this year, right? Being here
Yeah,
in
that's
North
true. Yeah,
America.
the games are all a good time for us.
So
That's nice.
top notch.
So now we
All
got
right.
a Korean beer.
Yeah.
Cass.
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 So people are already starting to get pumped up about World Cup and starting to shop. We quite literally sold out of both stores this morning of this beer. We had a whole bunch. We're all set for the show. We like to make sure we've got these products on hand. Sold out both stores. So we will have some more showing up at Otwell tomorrow. We'll get some transferred over to the other store too. But Cass, this is one of those super light,
Yes.
highly carbonated, exceptionally clean. Now, this beer here, you can't talk about this beer without talking about Korean food, and in particular Korean barbecue. I don't know if you've had Korean barbecue.
I have once.
And when you think about that spicy food like that, this beer here with that is just gonna, it cuts through the fat and the spice really, really nicely in those things. Oh, and that charcoal and all that charcoal grilling and stuff they do with it. This beer is absolutely perfect with it.
It is. You know what? For light lagers, these are very flavorful. I have to say, man, like all three of them, and they're all slightly different.
They're all slightly different,
but they're good.
Yeah,
really good.
And I think this is what we're so used to, growing up here.
Yeah, like light lagers that really don't have much flavor and taste.
We grew up on Bud and
Canadian
and Labatt Blue, things like that.
Yeah,
and everybody's got their favorites out of those. And God, we sure drank enough of them when we were younger. But
Pill has better flavor.
Pill's got
say
100%. Was always a Pill guy.
Yeah.
Now
I like. So we got a dark beer.
Yeah. So
from Czechia.
This is from the Czech.
Oh, Schmieder, be all over this. We'll have to ask him if he's ever had a. Is it a Kozel?
Kozel, yeah. Yeah, so this is this beer here, the Kozel. It's it's that deep mahogany, sort of that tan foam comes on top. It's kind of worn out by now, but this is the brewery was founded in 1874.
See, I am a sucker for dark beers,
and that is a dark lager,
and that is good. Yeah, it's a dark lager, which I never even knew was a thing. Till we did this with you guys.
And so
that is good.
It's got that light flavor profile to it. This is 3.8%. This is an absolute crusher.
It's like an appetizer.
It's an appetizer, 100%. So this is it's not a stouter porter. It's got that low ABV. It's a nice light body. Fantastic beer. Same group that does Pilsner Raquel.
Like I've never seen that beer before, and I have to say I love the fact that he got the old goat.
The old goat. It's actually named after the gold goat.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know any other thing than that, but it's after the goat.
Velkopovic. What is it? Velkopovicki. Kozel. All right.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Maybe we'll get Schmieder to translate for us.
Yeah. Right. 100%.
Velko Popovicki.
Popovic. Vici. There's an accent over that Y.
Yeah, there's a Y. Yeah, Vich. I don't know.
Vici.
I don't know. I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah.
I got the Kozel part. The rest is yikes. And so now we're ending.
There we go.
With this is a Mexican lager.
So this is a
Common Ground.
Cool beer. So this is Cabin Brewing out of Calgary. So this is Common Ground.
Okay.
So they got together with Headlands Brewing out of Marin County, California.
Yep.
And Ray Arbel from Cerveza Artesanal in Jalisco, Mexico. And they all came up with this recipe. It's being brewed in all three countries. And this is the Common Ground. This is, soccer balls right on there. And they've called it a West Coast Mexican lager.
Oh, it's a little bit of a taste like an IPA.
It's got that. Well, and that's our that call West Coast. So it's got those IPA hops in there, but that super, super light body to it, right?
Yes.
And it's only 5.2%. But you're getting those hops through, and you're getting some of that citrusy,
it's
fruit kind of thing in there.
That is a really good,
super refreshing beer.
It's like a bouquet of flavors. If you know, you know.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super cool beer. And again, I love the Common Ground piece that, getting all three countries together and putting something together.
Yeah. So they got the green, the red, and the blue for Mexico, Canada, and the USA.
Yeah. cool
Now,
collaboration.
something tells me the common ground that just for the footy fans, that one will be a big seller.
I think so too. Yeah, I mean, you look at that packaging.
The
It's
flavor is
fantastic,
awesome
right?
though, like surprising. I really like it. It caught me
Yeah,
off
it is.
guard.
It is more West Coasty hop flavor than I thought it would be for sure. But I mean, look at that color, that light color. You wouldn't expect, any of that out of that at all.
It's a really good mix of lagers today,
Yeah.
Big D. I have to say, honestly, like Tusker, never had a sip of it before. Really good.
Really good.
Really good. Kozo, the dark one, I'm obviously biased towards though, but common ground, like they're all very good, but slightly different, which is what I like.
Yeah.
So you stop in and we always have this up at go to Sherbrooke Liquor's website. Also check out on our socials on Instagram. And if you want to see all the cans and the pictures of each one, they're right there. They will get cast back in tomorrow, according to Dave. And Tusker, though, I just love the name.
Yeah,
love the
Tusker.
story. Hey, you know what? Live hard, die hard. I guess.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
I still love it. I love beer out of a bottle. I'm old fashioned that way sometimes.
Well, I've
but
always felt beer tastes better out of a bottle than out of a can.
me too.
Like anytime I get a beer, if it's in a can, I pour it in a glass.
Yeah.
I find it. I don't like the
Agreed.
taste of it in the beer.
Yeah, but in a bottle, it's great. So we've got a couple in the bottle here. It's top notch. So next week we're going to dig into a couple other groups. I think we're going to get into groups C, D, E, and F next week with some more beers, different countries. So you're getting ready for some of those footy parties at a reasonable hour this year at your house. Come check us out. We've likely got a beer that's from your country. Or
Oh yes. Support the country, hey, for fun.
Right.
Right. There you go. I like it. Bring in wear your footy jersey too.
Exactly.
That'll be good. Dave, have yourself an awesome weekend.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
There you go. That's Dave Owen from Sherbrooke Liquor every Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. We always have a different. I love it. Beers from all around the world, and I can say I've only ever had one of those before. The Modelo. That's it. Never tried any of the other ones, and they're all really good. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update. Who has glasses? Evidently, we learned. We'll find out. Every 6 years we seem to learn something new about Thomas, aka Connor, aka I need glasses. What'll the next one be? Oh, hey guys, I got 3 kids. Pardon? We'll see. Anyway, let's get to Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. Hey, no surprises there. Just a great deal on cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it. They got over 15,000 vehicles to choose from, 33 different brands, and over 73 locations. There's a car near you at goauto.ca.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight from Raleigh, North Carolina. Canes and Golden Knights, of course, Vegas leading 1 game to 9. Puck drop set for 6 o'clock. Off the ice, Red Wings captain Dylan Larkin has expressed interest in a trade after 11 seasons in Detroit. The move comes after the Red Wings failed to make the playoffs for the 10th consecutive season. Larkin was originally drafted by the team back in 2014, 15th overall. In the CFL, it all gets going tonight in Hamilton as they host the Alouettes. That'll start at 5:30. Major League Baseball, Jays and Braves from Atlanta. First pitch, 5:15. We'll join that game in progress following the Jason Gregor show at 6 o'clock on the AM feed. One game underway right now. Brewers trail the Giants 12-6. That one is heading into the 9th. Earlier today, Phillies over the Padres 6-4. Red Sox fall to the Orioles 8-2, and the Yankees doubled up the Guardians by a score of 2-1. Riverhawks in action right now. They trail Victoria 6-2 in the top of the 9th. They'll be in Nanaimo tomorrow, kicking off a series. And some news for the World Cup. Canadian coach Jesse Marsh confirming that Maxime Crepeau will be the starting goaltender for Canada when they kick off the tournament next Friday. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Farhan Lalji to talk some CFL, and we'll speed things up in the CanTorque Racing Report with Colin Livingston. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
The sun's out, the pavement's warm.
To the
and
Jason
that
Gregor.
low rumble of a Harley
And
rolling by.
welcome.
Oh yeah, that's calling your name.
This is riding season, and if you've been thinking about a new ride, Harley-Davidson of Edmonton has the one that'll get your heart pumping. With a huge selection of new and pre-owned bikes, there's one waiting for you. Whether you're upgrading or just getting started, and while you're there, ask about test rides, because the only way to know is to ride it. For more details, visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980, or at hdedmonton.com.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks Football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440.
Yourself an awesome weekend.
And then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton sports leader. Sports 1440.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Air conditioning from Legacy Heating and Cooling is like a country love song because you always know exactly what you're getting. Cause girl, you're hotter than Tennessee, cooler than Legacy's AC, blowing that southern breeze over me. Wheat fields, cold beer, pickup trucks, John Deere. You see, Legacy is that predictable because Legacy always has AC in stock and will install it faster than a truck burning down a back road. Plus, no interest and no payments for 1 year. That's how you lasso your Legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Rev up for a ride that truly matters. Join the Princess Auto Ride for Dad Edmonton, where hundreds of motorcycles fire up and roll out together in one unforgettable moment. Enjoy a scenic route, great food, amazing prizes, fundraising awards, and a whole community riding shoulder to shoulder. Collect pledges to support prostate cancer research and awareness in the fight against prostate cancer. Ride strong, ride proud to make a difference on Saturday, June 13th, starting at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku. Register now at ridefordad.ca.
I'm in to fight this war and win it.
From fire comes darkness. The long-awaited new season of HBO's House of the Dragon returns June 21st, only on Crave. Before the epic war ignites, catch up on the groundbreaking series hailed as breathtaking and magnificent.
The path to victory now is one of violence.
House of the Dragon, an HBO original. Catch up before the new season begins, June 21st, only on Crave. Subscribe now at crave.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. CanTorque has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, and neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.311, welcome back. Gregor, Hallie, Paulson, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks as always for watching and listening to the show. We very much appreciate it. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Plans for the weekend. Lots of options. Golfing, hiking, camping, biking, sports watching, sports playing. It's good times. Lots going on, man. Well, we're going to have the finalists of the French Open this week. You got Monaco. We've got the U.S. Women's Open getting going today. We've got NBA Finals last night. Hey, we haven't even really discussed it. What about the Knicks, baby? What about the Knicks and Brunson and the Knicks offense? Like, I loved the and we might have to get him, man. I don't know if you saw the Karl Anthony Towns interview after the game last night. That's one of the best interviews. If you don't know, his mother passed away many years ago, and he was asked. I can't remember if it was Shaq or Chuck who asked him about the nervousness and how are you feeling leading up to your first NBA final, and he said, "You know what? Like, I know there's lots of pressure, but man, I felt really calm. Just thinking about my mom. Could picture her there. Because I really felt like a kid back playing where it's just for fun." And it was such a really good answer, and just so calm in how he spoke, and you could sense that it was genuine. Like, for him, it was the moment wasn't stressful; it was almost peaceful. And I know that Brunson gets a ton of credit for what he did in the fourth quarter, and rightfully so. But really, Karl Anthony Towns got them back in the game when they were down by 14. He took over. And look at some of the moves he had on Wemby. And really, did you just see we'll get into it in stats of the day, but the Knicks' approach into how they were going to attack Wemby, and not necessarily Wemby specifically, but Wemby when he attacked them, and what would they do? And it was weird. They couldn't shoot worth a lick when Wemby was the defender and disrupting their shots. 2 for 16. But what happened was, well, they missed those shots by getting Wemby outside of the paint and being the one pressuring them. They were able to get a ton of rebounds and score off of those. And that's really what won them the game. It's a very, it's kind of unique thing when you look at it and you break it down to how they were able, like, Wemby defended them and disrupted them incredibly well. But by doing so, he wasn't able to get back. Now they're able to rebound because the Spurs are pretty small at times without him. When he comes out, the rest of their team isn't that big. Right? When I say comes outside the paint. Right? Like, there's times when, and anytime he had to go out and defend against Cat out at the 3-point line, well, now he can't get back. And so I'll be curious to see, how does San Antonio defend it? Because there's two thoughts of process. Well, you know what? If we keep him closer to the rim, well, now all of a sudden they might make more shots. They just need other guys to rebound better. And what about Brunson, though? We're gonna actually, I want to get to it right now because it is highly impressive, man. Highly impressive what that guy does in crunch time in the fourth quarter. So we'll get to it. Let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction, founded in 2009. They specialize in underground utilities, power, gas, telecommunications, street lighting, and more. They are helping build your neighborhoods. That is All Star Construction. So this is maybe my favorite stat because keep in mind, the Knicks haven't made it to a final until here. But 2021, most playoff points in the fourth quarter, Jalen Brunson. 2022, most playoff points in the fourth quarter, Jalen Brunson. 2023, 2024, Brunson again. 25, Brunson. 26, Brunson. This guy right now, name a player in the last 5 minutes of the game that you want shooting the ball ahead of Jalen Brunson. The answer should be no one. No one in the last 6 years in the postseason scores more in the fourth quarter than Jalen Brunson. And he did it again last night. It was highly entertaining, man. Not only that, the Knicks win their 12th consecutive game in the playoffs, which is second longest winning streak in NBA history. Tied with the Spurs, 1999, who won, and the 2017 Warriors, who also won. It's the Knicks' 7th straight road win by double digits. That's the longest streak in NBA history. Breaking the record of 6 set by the 2013 LeBron James Heat and the 2017 Steph Curry Warriors. It was also the Knicks' 7th consecutive win by at least 10 points or more. Like, they are dominating right now, man. Dominating. So I don't sleep on the Knicks. You know, the Spurs aren't out of it. But the Knicks, man, they look good. Very good. So I am fascinated to see what happens in game 2. And it was interesting when you listen to the Knicks afterwards, like, man, we won this game with defense. Like, you hold a team to under 100 points in the NBA playoffs now, that's pretty impressive, man. Especially the Spurs. Like, the Spurs are really good. So I know there's a lot of people thought the Knicks were just going to get walked all over. I don't think. And they were down by 14 at one point. Now, they had an early lead. I think they led 14-7 in the first 7 minutes of the game. And then Spurs came back and they took a big lead. And everyone thought, okay, here we go. Blowout city. Did not happen. To the National Hockey League tonight, you have the Carolina Hurricanes. And I'm going to say it. It's a must-win situation. You just look at history to go down 0-2. But what about this for the Golden Knights that I did not know? But the Golden Knights, when they go up 1-0 in a series, the last 7 series, they've won game 2 every time. So they've been up 2-0 in 7 consecutive series after you win game 1. So they know how to put down the hammer. They don't get excited. They don't get like, oh, you know what? We got to split on the road. We'll be happy. No. They're able to put the pressure on. So we'll see. If you look at Stanley Cup champions who lost game 1 in their home building, it's happened. But the Tampa Bay Lightning did it in 2004. That's the last time. Now, funny enough, who was the head coach? John Tortorella of the Tampa Bay Lightning. But the Red Wings lost to the Hurricanes back in 2002. Dallas lost to the Sabres. 1999 came back and won. And the Rangers in 94, the Canadiens in 93, the Penguins in 91. That's the only teams in the expansion era of 21 teams or more. So 5, it's happened 6 times, but none since 2004. So the Hurricanes, could they come back? Yes, but it's going to be hard, and they obviously need to win tonight, without a doubt. It's not even a question, man. Not even a question. CFL is back, starting tonight, and just to get you fired up, because I think there's a lot of CFL fans. I know there's a lot of Edmonton fans, and you've kind of been patiently waiting to see if there's a reason to invest your emotions on the Edmonton Elks. And it's valid, man. I get it. So, anywho, right now, how many rookies do you think are on rosters who are set to debut in the CFL this year? 17%. 81 first-year players right now on rosters in the CFL. Cody Fajardo will make his 87th CFL start, looking for his 50th career win. quarterbacks with 50 career wins. Bo Levi Mitchell he's a record of 110 and 46. You got Zach Caleros, who's 89 and 54. Trevor Harris, 67 and 57. And that's it. Those are the only guy with 50 wins. Now, Vernon Adams also has 49 wins. He's played fewer games than Cody Fajardo. He's 49 and 28, while Fajardo's 49 and 36 at a tie. But so you look for Fajardo and Adams, both could get their 50th wins this season. Fun little fact, Connor Halley, because the modified Rouge, remember that. If you're watching the games this year, the rule's different for the Rouges. Last year, the CFL had 73 singles. 36 of them would no longer apply under the new rule for this year. We're not going to see as many. And I'll be honest, I like it. I don't know where you come out, Connor, on the Rouge, but less Rouge for me, the better. Like, they were almost averaging one per game. I don't love it. Honestly, like, I don't like rewarding guys. You know, you kick a punt and a bounce in the, I'm not a big fan of it. Missed field goal, I don't love it. So I don't mind that we're going to see, we should see fewer Rouges this year.
Yeah, I mean, I love the CFL game, but that was one thing I was not attached to by any means. Missing a field goal, getting a point, like, to me, you failed. Why are you getting a point? Those are certain types of situations. So for me, that was something I was certainly willing to part ways with the new CFL rule changes. Had no issue.
And does home field advantage in the regular season matter that much in the CFL? Not really. Last year, there was 81 home games across the league. You know what the record was of the home team? 44 and 37. But here's what matters. It doesn't matter if you play the game at home. It doesn't matter if you play the game on the road. The number one indicator, if you want to have a good chance to win the turnover battle. Last year, now there was 12 games where it was tied. Each team had an even amount of turnovers. But in the other 69 games, the team who won the turnover battle, 58 and 11. Control the ball. Very simple. Don't turn it over, and your chance of winning is going to be much, much better. Also, Cody Fajardo, he has 3 touchdown passes shy of 100 in his career. Is 2 rushing touchdowns shy of 50. The Elks, as I mentioned, they've never won their home opener or season opener as a member of the Elks, which of course started in 2021. But the last time they won the home opener was in 2019. So they will try to end that drought. Cody Fajardo, all-time 9-1 against Ottawa. Jake Meyer, our mayor, who will start for Ottawa, is a record of 3-3 all-time against the green and gold. So also new head coach Ryan Dinwiddie had a lot of success in Toronto, but he is now Ottawa's head coach, and we'll see if he can bring Ottawa back to being competitive. So there you have it. Some stats of the day brought to you by All Star Construction. Quick break. We'll return. Far Analogy joins us next. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business, and for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Shulman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely, lovely Thursday afternoon as we get to our footy report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home to no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer. LegacyHeating.ca. The CFL kicks off tonight. Farhan Lalji from TSN joins us now. Farhan, before we get to the CFL, I just want to ask you, Dylan Larkin's name is out there. I don't expect the Canucks to be in the Dylan Larkin sweepstakes by any stretch of the imagination, but lots of teams are looking for a second-line center. How realistic do you think it is that Elias Pettersson gets moved this summer?
I think the Canucks are going to look at it. I'm probably parsing a little bit too much, but when I listened to Ryan Johnson earlier in the week talking about that particular topic, and he says one of the things he said was, whatever happens here with this, and it was kind of a little bit sideways off the question that made me think that, yeah, they are looking at all possibilities, and they really should, right? How does this current management group now want to view him in terms of asset value? Is he an appreciating asset? Do they have to retain money? Can they actually move him for value? There's a lot of debate in the marketplace around the league about how people view him. I mean, I can't imagine they're going to get a significant return back if they can just get off the money and term of that deal. I think that would be a win. We'll see how the organization views it, right? You're talking to Manny Malhotra about it today, and he still believes there's something there. He's looking forward to the challenge of trying to connect with him and get the best out of him. It was a bit of a different message than other people in recent years that have just talked about Elias Pettersson needing to work harder and prepare better. This group has taken a different approach. Malhotra basically took it on himself. It's up to me and it's up to our staff to help him find his game. So, I think they're prepared for either option. And if there's a reasonable opportunity to move him, I think they will.
Will be fascinating to see how many trades they make. And the Dylan Larkin sweepstakes, Minnesota, Montreal, St. Louis is already, I see a lot of people in St. Louis thinking that, hey, there's a Robert Thomas trade there. So it'll be, I don't know if he wants to go there. I'll see where he goes. But Dylan Larkin asking for a trade is definitely going to be some spicy stuff this summer. Really this month. The CFL kicks off tonight, and I'm very intrigued to see how the season goes. Where do you come out on the Elks? Improved, a lot, a little, not sure. Where do you come out?
Improved, and I think their floor is higher because they've got a bit more predictability at the quarterback position. And to be honest, it was interesting in terms of what happened in Ottawa with Drew Brown and Jake Mayer. And, I was asked a question about whether or not that's a possibility in Edmonton, with Cody Fajardo and Taylor Powell. And I'm a big fan of Taylor Powell. And I think he's Edmonton in the next couple of years and potentially a star in this league. However, I just don't think Cody Fajardo's floor is low enough that Taylor Powell's going to get an opportunity this year, right? I mean, that would only come by injury. I just think that it was very different last year. Trey Ford had a much lower floor. Yes, he had a higher ceiling, but the floor is what we saw. And with Cody Fajardo, like the worst of Cody is still a really, really competent quarterback. So I think that that means that this team is going to be in every game. They're not going to start 0-6. They're going to be, right there coming out of the first half of the season. And that's going to be a different place for this organization than where they have been, where they've been totally in catch-up mode. So I view the Elks as a playoff team this year. I think they've made significant improvements. I don't view them as a contender. Again, the floor ceiling argument applies on both ends of this, but they are improved and they will be in the playoffs.
Oh, playoff team. All right. Hamilton, Montreal. They finished first and second in the East last year. Davis Alexander has yet to lose a regular season game as a starting quarterback. Bo Levi Mitchell had another great season last year. What do you make of these two teams between Hamilton and Montreal? Who do you like better, or is it too hard to tell?
Well, I like Montreal better this week. Now, first of all, I picked Montreal to win the East, and I'm a big Davis Alexander guy. He is, he's the next best guy behind Nathan Rourke in my mind in this league. And I know Bo played great last year, and he would probably take umbrage with that comment. But just in terms of the ability to throw it and the ability to run it and scare the heck out of teams with your legs, I think when you put all of that together, I think Davis, for me, grades out a little bit ahead. But really, I think the bigger issue for me is that defensively, there's some injuries and some questions around Hamilton. Right? They've got injuries at the linebacker position. When McManus isn't going to play tonight, they've got some questions in the secondary with players that they've lost. So I just think it's going to take Hamilton a bit more time on the defensive side of the ball. I think both of these teams can hit the ground running offensively. I like what I'm seeing with Bo and that offense and the addition of Kenny Lawler. And, I think these two, along with Ryan Dinwiddie, in my mind, are the best play callers in the CFL. Right? Jason Moss, Scott Milanovich, and Ryan Dinwiddie for me. There are other good ones like Jordan McSimic, like Buck Pierce out here, but those three, for me, separate themselves. And so the offenses have a chance to hit the ground running. I just think defensively, Montreal will be a little bit farther ahead this week because of the injuries defensively and youth and some question marks defensively for Hamilton. But they'll get better in that area.
The Calgary Stampeders had a really good start last year. A lot of people are kind of surprised at the season they had. Where do you see the Stamps at this season?
Yeah, I like where they're at roster-wise, right? But kind of the same thing for this week. You lose Jalen Hutchings. I don't believe that Clark Barnes is playing this week. And I think there's another injury. It might be a Rimolati. I'm not sure. I've got to double-check the depth chart. But they've got some injuries there on that side of the ball. So they've got to get those guys healthy. And when they do, I think, that defense really surprised a lot of people because they had 3 fresh rookies start the season for them in the secondary. And in the CFL, that's really difficult to do because, communication along the offensive line and in the defensive secondary are so critical. And Bob Slowick was able to do such a good job with that group and get them playing at a high level really, really early. And get more out of players like Adrian Green and some others. So, now they're going to be less of a surprise, but they're also going to be more experienced with those guys. So I think they've got a chance to maintain and build off what they did. We'll see when they get, Damian Alford back and when Reggie Bagleton finally gets back into the lineup because he hasn't practiced yet. He's not going to play this week. So, he's the guy that they need. He's such a culture piece for them. And when he's healthy, he's really good too.
Is there a team or player you're most interested to watch this season?
Is there a team or a player I'm most interested to watch? Probably Ottawa and probably Jake Maier. And I think that, and there's actually 2, because I think Chad Kelly in Toronto also fascinates me because the team he's picking isn't as good as the team he left in my mind. Right. I just think it's going to take him a while to overcome the last 2 seasons worth of free agent losses. But, when he's on, he's as good as any quarterback in the league. So that one interests me. Like Jim Barker and his ability to build. But when you look at the other side, when I talk about Ottawa and Jake Maier, a lot of change in Ottawa, a lot of change on the offensive side of the ball in terms of personnel and play caller. So, can he take the next step in his game and push the ball down the field a little bit more, be a little bit more functional in the pocket when there's pressure, and take advantage of this opportunity, which a lot of people didn't think he'd get to start day one?
Farhan Lalji joins us from TSN. And Farhan, Connor Halley was pretty fired up yesterday about Rankin only being ranked 15th among CFL players. Would you come out on Rankin? Justin Rankin.
Who was fired up?
Connor Halley here. Connor Halley, our producer. He was.
Shoot, I thought you were going to tell me Mark Killam was fired up because Mark Killam gets fired up about everything.
Yeah. No, that would have been good, but we should ask him about that.
I had Justin Rankin right around the 10 to 15 mark, and the reason for that is I probably don't value the running back position as much as I should, but he's my best running back, right? He's such a complete player. He's so explosive, so twitchy. He's a home run threat every time he touches the ball, and he's really effective out of the backfield, and he's good in protection, right? Like, the guy doesn't have a weakness in his game. So while I like Brady Oliveira, and I like James Butler here in BC, and there are others, AJ Ouellette in Saskatchewan, there are other good backs in this league. I probably don't value the position enough to put it much higher than that. But if I'm picking a running back to build around, that's the guy.
Now, you say you don't, and that's actually what I told Connor. Said I think it kind of shows how people look at the running back position. But when you're a guy like Rankin, who can catch the ball as well as he does, but also runs, and you look at the amount of touches and his combined yards, the value of the running back has. And I don't disagree with you, but it does seem like even in football, you look at fantasy football for CFL, fantasy football for the NFL, like the running back value has gone down significantly from where it was a decade ago.
You're right. And the truth is, I think a lot of teams have a player who can do both, right? Like, I mentioned Oliveira and I mentioned James Butler, but they're just varying degrees of how explosive you are. And then can you add the protection piece to what you're doing offensively, right? Like, can you add that element, which I certainly think Rankin can. And honestly, like, I think Rankin is more important in an Edmonton offense with Cody Fajardo, because of his ability to pull the ball and how they want to throw it, right? It's not a guy that's necessarily going to sit in the backfield and go through a bunch of progressions and get the ball out in 3.5 seconds, right? Cody's got to get it out earlier. And so they've got to mix up what they do offensively and really incorporate the running back more than every other team does, in my mind. So while I might devalue him league-wide, I think he's even more valuable in Edmonton.
So I have a fun one for you before I let you go. Cody Fajardo's career high is 18 passing touchdowns. Back in 2000.
Wow, I would have thought it was higher, but okay.
No, that's his highest. So he's had 18, 16, 14, 14, 16, 14. So 3 times 14, twice 16, 118. How many TD passes? Is he over 20? Or is he 18 to 20? Or is he below 18 touchdown passes this season?
I'll give him over 20. It won't be significantly over 20. He's not going to threaten for the league lead, but I think he could be in that, 20 to 24 range. I think that's a reasonable number for Cody.
Okay. All right. And Ismail.
And then, listen, don't minimize the improvement of that offensive line.
Oh, dude, I agree with you.
And that's why I have that kind of faith. He'll have a little bit more time. He's not going to be running for his life as much, and Jordan McSimic will be in a position to be a bit more creative. So, I don't think he's going to threaten to lead the league in terms of passing yards or passing touchdowns, but over 20, heck yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. And lastly, the rumor Maholcher's going to Vancouver. Will they draft his son? Would you draft the new head coach's son in the first round?
I wouldn't. And not because he's the new head coach's son. I think two things. Normally, that would be a real conflict and concern. But at the same time, when a player gets drafted 3rd overall, which would have to happen for that scenario to play out, his path is kind of set, right? Like, his trajectory is kind of set. He'll do a year at Boston University. The team that drafts him is going to try to sign him after the 1 year. And that player, in the first year or the very latest in the second year, is going to be on the NHL roster, full stop. That's just it. Whoever drafts him, that's what's going to happen. And then from there, you're going to quickly get opportunities up the lineup, right? So I think Manny can handle it. I think Caleb can handle it. Will other people in the team and in the locker room be comfortable with it? Like, if you're that center that feels like they should be getting more, do you feel like he's being, handed something? Yeah, I guess you could feel that. It might make the group chats a little more uncomfortable when they want to talk about the coach. But, I think there's a gap between Malhotra and the other centers in this draft. The Canucks have a glaring need at center. I still, for some reason, believe that Stenberg's going to fall, and if he does, then they'll take him there. And I think there's a conversation around Chase Reed there as well. So I don't believe it's a slam dunk that they're going to take him, but I wouldn't stay away from it. And Jason, I'll tell you this story. The last time Manny coached Caleb was in spring hockey 6 years ago, and my son was on the team.
Oh, okay.
So I was around it a ton, and I joked with Manny today that you totally played favorites with Caleb. Don't kid yourself. But Caleb was clearly the best player on the team, so I am joking.
Yeah.
He was harder on him than anybody. But it's a little different when you get to this age and these stakes. So
I just think it's not putting your kid in a fair position, because your teammates automatically are wondering, what are you going to say to dad? Like, it's natural, right? People to be a little worrisome about it. I never loved it in Winnipeg with the Lowrys. I don't think it was great. I wouldn't do it. That's all. Like, I remember, who was it? Who was the kid who asked his dad, please don't draft me? Tyson Berry, right? And his dad wasn't even the coach. He was just the owner. He's just like, please don't draft me. Right. So I would think it'd be a similar spot. You're putting him in an almost a no-win situation.
It would be easier for him elsewhere. I don't think the Canucks will. I truly don't believe they'll let that factor into their decision. But I do agree with you that it would be easier on Caleb if he wound up somewhere else.
Yeah. Awesome. Farhan, appreciate your time, man. We'll see if the Elks can get their first season win ever as the Elks, and first as an organization since 2019 on Saturday. Should be fun.
Enjoy the weekend, buddy.
There you go. It's Farhan Lalji from TSN. We got a lot of texts. A lot of people wondering about Dylan Larkin, his trade request out of Detroit today. Is Edmonton a landing spot? The GM's not doing his job if they're not looking and making calls just to see. Because you would call, hey, okay, see, what are you looking for? Right? That you're not going to offer up everything. Just like, what's he looking? Well, I want a defenseman, or I want to, like, what's he going to need? You traded Dylan Larkin. I think the situation the Detroit Red Wings are in, I don't think they can just take a package of it like young players and draft picks, right? I don't believe that is ideal for a team that's missed the playoffs 10 years in a row. So I look at Jack Eichel and the Buffalo trade. I remember, and Buffalo at that point had missed the playoffs for what? 8 years, I think it was at that time. Maybe 9. I have to go back and look at the exact timeline of it. And Larkin's not Eichel. And then that one was over, health reasons, everything. But either way. And so you look at that. Hey, they got a good player in Alex Tuch, a really good player. And then they got some other young guys, and maybe okay. So I look at Dylan Larkin, and if I'm Detroit, I need at least one, not even like a 20. I'm not talking like an established NHLer. Might not be as good as Larkin, but I need an established NHLer. And keep in mind, Larkin's last 5 years, 30 goals every year, anywhere from 30 to 34. And his point totals anywhere from 69 to 79. He's pretty consistent. Right? You can say he's a 32 goal scorer, 74-point player the last 5 years. It's kind of what he's been. So we'll see what they get. The Darnell Nurse, I don't know if you read Speck's article today on Nurse, but he's saying he believes that a separation is imminent. It's just a matter of when. Just thinks that that's one where it's maybe both sides are thinking, you know what, time for a change. So what does that mean? As far as a return, I don't know, but I will say this. You can trade, I have no problem trading Darnell Nurse. But be careful what you wish for, because you cannot afford another Stuart Skinner trade. That's all I'll say. Quick break. We'll return to the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydro backing, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All Star Construction is all about.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at ProSolutionsInc.ca.
I'm good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Since the 1930s, the Dorchester name has been synonymous with chuckwagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
What's it like to score a winning deal at Car West Leduc? Like raising the cup in your hometown on your birthday. Feel it now. Car West Leduc. Experience a vast, uncompromising selection of top-quality used vehicles with no extra fees. Trucks, sedans, vans, SUVs, and more. Backed by family-run service and top dealer ratings on Google. So when the final siren goes, you go home with a deal you'll never forget. Car West Leduc, 6514 Sparrow Drive, Leduc, or at carwestautosales.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through Thursday afternoon, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Coming up, we talk about trade rumors. It's lots of time there's rumors, but then there's when a guy asks for a trade, it's not a rumor. Dylan Larkin has asked for a trade, so he's on the block. He's officially on the block. There's other names out there like Darnell Nurse getting traded. That's more of a rumor, but in conversations, I feel it's probably more likely than ever. Nothing's ever locked because they're not just going to give him away. But And the key for him is if he's willing to do it. Now, obviously, he'll probably be a little bit selective in where he wants to go, but something to think about for Oilers fans in the offseason. Now, I'm not saying nurse for Larkin. Let's make that abundantly clear. I don't think Detroit would do that, but we'll see. Let's get to the racing report brought to you by CanTorque, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com. Colin Livingston joins us once again. CL, how you doing?
Man, I hope my flights go better than TR's.
Oh, yeah. He's out there. He's almost on the highway hitchhiking right now.
Can't blame him.
No,
you need some
one.
of these. You need some of these summer beers to kill the time.
Yeah, he might have to. Well, yeah, knowing TR's probably having one or two, just take the edge off, so I could see it. I guess let's recap. They're going to Monaco now.
Yeah.
That now they're racing in Monaco, but we've talked about this. Like, scenery's great, and I know the sponsors, people like it, the tradition, the history of the race. I get all of that. But this might be, from a racing perspective, the worst race of the season.
There's no might. It's terrible. It's not a race.
Yeah.
Last year, top 10 positions, even with mandatory 2 pit stops, there wasn't one pass in the top 10. Like,
awful.
So it's a parade. Like, the cars have gotten too big. The streets are way too tight. It's neat to watch the cars go around there, but it's the entire weekend is determined based on how you qualify on Saturday, and pending rain or mechanical issues, it's just a parade. I mean, last year I went back and I watched some of the video. My memory isn't great. I don't have like instant recall for every race that I've ever seen in my life, but I watched a clip of Liam Lawson, who was instructed by his team to slow everyone down so that his teammate could get a big enough gap that he can make a pit stop without any pressure. And he was driving almost 3 seconds a lap slower than what the pace was to hold 4 cars up, and nobody could make a run because he could drive out of the corner fast enough. He could slow way down in the corners where nobody could make a run. And that kind of manipulation, it happens, and teams are allowed to play that game, but it's really, really, really hard to get excited for an event where what the outcome is once qualifying's done. Like, I can appreciate the people who love the history and the fact that it's Monaco, but I love watching the racing part of racing. I like seeing cars, handled to their extremes. And this, this new generation of car with the 50-50 battery and with Monaco, this is for me personally, which is my son's favorite stupid expression. Obviously, if it's for me, it's personally, this is going to be painful to watch, but hopefully, we'll be at the racetrack and I won't have to watch Monaco.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, qualifying is the place to find out who's going to win the race. Probably watch it unless there's rain, right? Rain's the only wild card in Monaco that can
rain or a bad pit stop. I mean, we saw a couple years ago,
but really bad pit stops, sadly, aren't that entertaining. Right? Like,
no, but Valtteri Bottas, they rounded a nut when he came in for a pit stop. He was out of the race. Like, he wasn't able to continue because they couldn't change his tires. They couldn't send him out on his used tires. So a bad pit stop can happen, but these guys are so good now and they're so predictable that you really need an act of God. You need it to rain to make it even moderately compelling.
There was an announcement, and probably not a real big surprise with Ferrari, though, sign an extension.
For Leclerc?
Yeah.
I was a bit surprised. I think there's always an internal political struggle between the drivers, like not necessarily from Hamilton to Leclerc, but the way that they try and get the team to go in their direction. The fact that Lewis is having such a good year or good start to the season, and he's really, really speaking highly of his temporary engineer, that he's got a similar relationship with this new guy that he did with Bono when he was at Mercedes, really makes it seem like Lewis is finally getting listened to and finally, kind of getting comfortable within the team. they've now extended Leclerc to 2029, which kind of indicates that they're not really quite ready to push him out the door. But it's also, they could be the first team, and they won't ever formally announce this, but they could be the first team with a driver payroll in excess of 100 million euros per year. Between Hamilton's reported 60 and now Leclerc is supposed to be getting upwards of 50 million pounds. That's never happened in a Formula One team before. So,
wow.
Yeah, big dollar.
The big dollar, dude. Yeah. But the other one was a report about, maybe Russell out at, not McLaren,
At Mercedes.
Mercedes. And I was like, really? Like that one, like, I know that it's, the silly season and F1 loves to just kind of create some rumors, but that one doesn't make a boatload of sense to me, really.
He's not having a great season. He's really getting showed up by Antonelli. I think George is far more emotional than rational, and when his emotions start getting away from him, we saw it in Montreal. He drives very defensively, very, very reactively around his teammate. The kinds of moves that he really, really voiced displeasure about when Max would do that stuff to him, he's now using that, that arsenal against his own teammate, which within the Mercedes world, they're very, very, very insistent that the drivers can race, but they've got to do it cleanly. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Russell choose to or be asked to leave if his contract is up.
Really?
Yeah, I think they've got enough. There's enough up and coming drivers that that I think can probably do more with the newer regulations. Just my own personal take. I don't think Russell's as good as what Russell thinks he is.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Not just sitting on the fence, making it pretty clear on how you feel it could play out for him. I like that. IndyCar is at the Oval in St. Louis, and they don't race on ovals that much. And I know you've talked about it, street racing, oval. It's obviously a significant difference. Do you see, is there somebody who's a clearly way better oval driver?
Better? No. I mean, Pelot's on a real roll again. It was only a couple of weeks ago we were talking about how Kyle Kirkwood was in the lead, and now it's back to the Pelot series. Guys like Will Power, Newgarden, McLaughlin, Scotty D, they're all exceptional oval drivers. Ferrucci has really started to turn it around on ovals. He's been more known for his driving on street courses. But ovals are kind of they can be a good equalizer, because if you get that one little advantage, whether it's an aerodynamic or your suspension is just a little bit better, it can make the difference. I mean, we've seen a lot of fighting the last couple of years at this particular track, especially with Penske's been unbelievably strong there, but they've also played some games. Newgarden, caused an accident that took out McLaughlin a couple of years ago. We saw that before with Newgarden and Will Power when he was still a Penske guy. Really fun oval though. It's not a typical oval. Turns 1 and 2 are really tight radiused, and turns 3 and 4 are really wide radiused, where the cars will probably be going through turn 1 and 2 in like third gear, but they'll be running through 3 and 4 wide open. So you'll never get your car to work great at both ends of the track. So you need to take advantage where it's good and be a little bit more defensive. But it's always a great race. And you got NASCAR Canada out in Quebec City on Saturday. And of course, you're flying out there. Now there's supposed to be lots of rain. And they don't rain it. You don't race a ton in the rain, right? Like you can never
race
on
some,
an oval,
right? But never on an oval. Like if it's even a little bit of rain, it's done, right? Because it's too slippery.
Correct. Yeah, because we only have slick tires for the oval. Slick tires can't dissipate the water. So if you get a little bit of even coolant from a radiator, a little bit of oil, I mean, it can cause a car to just veer off into the wall. And definitely, if there's I hate saying the word literally, but if we see 10 drops of rain, the caution's out. We stop the cars, because even under caution, you can't control it. It's more slick than any ice condition we ever see here. Saturday looked like we're supposed to race Saturday. Saturday is showing 100% rain, 100% chance of rain all day. Sunday is where it'll get pushed to. It's supposed to rain right now up till noon, so we might get the race in. I'm not really optimistic. And it's going to be a long way to go just to sit in a hotel room to have to change all my flights. I was supposed to be back home at like noon on Sunday, but I think I'm going to get some hotel time this weekend.
There you go. And quickly, local card, you guys back at it, and you sent a video out. There's pretty big crash. Was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 Wednesdays ago?
2 races, but 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
like lots of down. I saw the picture of the cart, man. Like is that now? Can you repair that? Because it looked like the whole front. Like you can't repair that, right?
No. Both of the carts involved, they went. The one cart sitting in my shop right now. He runs off of my branded stuff, so we're storing it for him till he's ready to hang it on the wall. The other cart, first of all, both drivers were okay. Like they were banged up, but no major injuries, no breaks, no real downtime. But yeah, real good eye opener for all of us to remember just basic fundamentals. The driver that got T-boned, he was pushed off the track. These things happen. He probably could have controlled his cart a little bit better, slowed down, waited till everybody passed. He tried to drive back on the track. There was a third driver involved that came out of the corner, saw what was happening. When there's a spin, when there's an incident, when there's anything untoward, we're trained and we're taught, you put your arm up, because when you're following behind another cart, you're sitting, your backside's less than an inch off the ground. There's another cart that you're trying to pass. You can't see, you can look down track, but you can't see through them, and the following cart saw that he had pulled over. His mind, and this is a direct quote, he's like, I thought he was pulling over to let me go, which is what that guy will often do. And then all of a sudden there's a cart sideways. So we come out of that corner at about 75, 80 kilometers an hour. And we're guessing that the contact happened at about 90K, where one cart was sideways and the other cart, just went straight into him. So, of course, the paramount thing is that everybody was okay. Carts can be replaced, and they already have been. And we get back to it.
How much is the cart? Like if you write off a cart, what's that?
The chassis by itself is about $9,500, $10,000.
That's just for the chassis.
That's just if your engine's toast, that's another $6,500, $7,000. There's accessories we put on, like our telemetry and cables and all this stuff. Like that can add another.
So when you're all said and done, a car's probably cost you $20,000,
give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what's happened to you? Like last year, you were, let's be honest, banged up. I thought you were getting too old. I thought maybe you were retired, and all of a sudden now you're back winning. What happened?
Injuries are starting to get healed. We had a good training, off season. That's, I'm not where I want to be, but we're going in the right direction. And yeah, in class, I've managed to pick up a couple wins. I've run the board on, taking every heat. I out-qualified P2 a couple weeks ago by 0.6 of a second. So something's clicked.
I was wondering, is it the new hairstyle?
It doesn't hurt, man. To go fast, you got to look fast.
That's true. I like it.
Well, we'll see what happens next week. Now I've opened my big. I want to use a bad word, but my big mouth, and I'm going to have to eat a gnarly sandwich on Wednesday, because that's how karma works.
Well, hopefully you get back in time for Wednesday.
Boy. Yeah, I won't
be like TR.
I won't be talking to TR's travel agent, that's for sure.
That's true. Awesome. Okay, Colin. Have a good weekend.
You too.
It's a Race Report brought to you by CanTorque. Man, I saw the video of check out Collins on social media, man. Like, it's no joke. Like, it's literally one cart moves and you have like no time to react, and boom. And so you don't see those accidents very often, but the carnage was legit. We'll get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site repair, cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Stable jobs create stable lives. HireGood.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight. Canes and Knights from North Carolina. Puck drop just after 6 o'clock. Vegas leading that series 1-0. Detroit Red Wings captain Dylan Larkin has expressed interest in a trade from the team after 11 seasons. The move comes after the Red Wings failed to make the playoffs for the 10th consecutive year. Week 1 of the CFL tonight kicks off. Hamilton and Montreal starts at 5:30. Major League Baseball today. Jays and Braves once again from Atlanta. First pitch, 5:15. We'll have that one for you here on our AM dial following the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, Twins and Royals, Athletics get the Cubs. Pirates in Houston. The Diamondbacks host the Dodgers. Finals today had the Padres falling to the Phillies 6-4. Orioles over the Red Sox 8-2. The Yankees doubled up the Guardians 2-1. And it was the Giants over the Brewers 12-9. Some news for the World Cup. Canadian head coach Jesse Marsh confirmed that Maxime Crepeau will get the starting spot for Canada when the tournament gets going next Friday. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions and be joined by Corey Lavalette as we preview Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the
Instagram,
guardians of
thank you.
safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as
Scene40.ca,
referees,
YouTube, Facebook,
ensuring
X.
everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative
Well,
plays are
returns are great.
legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no
Afternoon,
problem.
Sports
With Hughes' new
1440.
tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at hughescarwash.com. Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays, 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Diamond Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury
Have a good weekend.
we
You too.
provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle
Landon
at
DuPont.
oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Backshaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregate. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Up for a ride that truly matters. Join the Princess Auto Ride for Dad Edmonton, where hundreds of motorcycles fire up and roll out together in one unforgettable moment. Enjoy a scenic route, great food, amazing prizes, fundraising awards, and a whole community riding shoulder to shoulder. Collect pledges to support prostate cancer research and awareness in the fight against prostate cancer. Ride strong, ride proud to make a difference on Saturday, June 13th, starting at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku. Register now at ridefordad.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth AA football coverage, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back after 4 o'clock. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Hope you got big plans for the weekend. Lots of golf to watch. You got some racing to watch. You got some tennis. NHL, NBA, CFL is back. Can the green and gold, can they do it? Can they win their season opener? I actually think they will. Saying it right now, Cons. We even have a play up at playalberta.ca and the Jason Gregor Show. So check it out, playalberta.ca. We got lots and lots of text to get to because lots of them around the. So let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it, they got it at goauto.ca. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from for you. So, of course, I know many of you have read Spec's article, and so people are fired up about, Darnell Nurse getting traded. Is he moving on? I would say at any point in his career, now's where it's the most likely. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee because, A, he has to agree to the team. Number one. Number two, you have to find a team that will make a trade that you're acceptable to pull off, right? It's lots of teams would trade for Darnell Nurse. They might not give you anything. So I don't think Edmonton's going to do that. But I definitely think it is something that's more like, a lot of people like, hey, Nurse, Howard in a second for Larkin. If I'm Detroit, I think if you're trading Dylan Larkin, now Nurse is an established 20-minute NHL defenseman. I look at Detroit, though. I think the strength of their team is their defense core, their top 3D. I think if you're trading for Dylan Larkin, the key piece you're returning has to be a forward. And Ike Howard's not a key piece yet because he's a young, good prospect. Might become a really good player. I have no idea, but no one knows yet. I don't think Detroit's trading Dylan Larkin without getting an established player. Like, look, Jack Eichel got you Alex Tuck. Really good player. I think that's what and plus, right? It was Tuck and more, right? In that deal to Vegas, right? It was Tuck, Peyton Krebs, and there was a first round pick and a second round pick. Now, Eichel obviously I think is even better than Larkin. Right? Was younger at the time of the deal. Larkin has, and the other thing is though, Larkin's under contract for 5 years at $8.7 million. It's pretty good value. It's a pretty good contract. So I think that makes him even more enticing to a team, right? Hey, Gregor, did people say that? I'm not sure I really believe in it. They don't have to trade him, right? Just because you ask for lots of players ask for trades that don't get public, and guess what? They don't get traded. And some of them end up playing really well for that team. So I don't really buy that Detroit has no leverage stuff. What's Dylan Larkin going to do? Sit out? Walk away from $8.7 million? No chance. So it is, because, hey, we've seen guys where trades have been public, you get a good trade. We've seen trades that not be public, and they don't get a good trade. So, hey, Gregor, would you move Nugent Hopkins part of a package for Larkin? Nugent Hopkins, again, guys, he's older. He's not nearly as good. He's not a main piece for Larkin. And plus, is Nugent Hopkins going to waive to go to Detroit? I'm going to say zero chance. Detroit hasn't made the playoffs in 10 years. Nugent Hopkins spent the first, 1, 2, 3. What do you make the playoffs? Once in his first 8 years? You think he's going to go back to that? No chance. I don't. He's not waving to go there. So any of the Nuge to Detroit stuff probably can just stop because I see virtually no chance that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins would agree to that trade. If he's going to get traded, he wants to go to a team, I think, that's competitive. Detroit, they haven't made the playoffs in a decade. So I don't see that. Hey, Gregor, if Eichel wins another cup, is he making good on his pre-draft comments about being the best pro player from JR and Red Deer? I will maintain this, and I'm happy you brought this up. I will always maintain teams win Stanley Cups, not players. Now, you have a good player on a team, lots of great players, didn't win. Right? Gretzky scored 215 points in 1986. They didn't win that year. Steve Smith goal. They didn't play that well as a team. Was Gretzky suddenly less of a player? No, they just didn't win. But here's the numbers on McDavid and Eichel. Regular season, Connor McDavid, 409 goals, 1,220 points, plus 186, 1.54 points per game. Jack Eichel, 266 goals, 698 points. McDavid has 1,220. Eichel's plus 19. McDavid's plus 186. McDavid has a 1.54 points per game. Eichel has a 1.01. Okay, that's over a 600-game sample size. Now let's move to the playoffs. McDavid, 45 goals, 111 assists, 156 points, plus 23, 1.53 points per game. His points per game is basically the same in the playoffs and the regular season. Eichel, 12 goals, 50 assists, 62 points. McDavid has 156 points. Eichel has 62. McDavid has 45 goals. Eichel has 12. Eichel's plus 12 has a 1.09 points per game. McDavid had a plus 1.53. So Eichel won a cup with Vegas. And this year they're back in the cup final. We'll see if they win or not. He's only won one playoff series every other year of his career. And they start at the same time. Vegas is a good team. If you would put Connor McDavid on Vegas just for Jack Eichel straight up, do you think they don't win the cup in 2022? Or sorry, 2023? I don't buy it. To say that Jack Eichel would be a better player, pro player, because he won a second cup, like, I'm a firm believer teams win cups. They just do. Right? Like, look at game one. Was Eichel a major part of that game for Vegas? I don't think so. He was good. Like, he was fine. Wasn't bad. But he wasn't the reason they won. Right? So I'm sorry. Like, just the career numbers. Like, at times, I think I get that the goal is to win a Stanley Cup. 100%, and you want to win. Make no mistake about it. But you can't just take a playoff sample size. Jack Eichel hasn't even played 60 playoff games in his career. Now, he might be lucky and win 2 cups. That's unreal for him. If he does, awesome. But doesn't make him a better player. Makes him a little bit luckier for sure. And to be on a good team, and he's a good player, don't get me wrong. I like Jack Eichel, but if he was that good, why are they not winning other series all the time? And last year in the playoffs, they played 11 games. Jack Eichel was -8. Like, everybody rips on McDavid. He wasn't that good in the playoffs this year. Now, he was obviously banged up. But, Jack Eichel was -8 last year in the playoffs. So, no, I can't. You can't tell me that Eichel's a better player. So, can't do it. Hey, Gregor, why would anyone say Detroit has no leverage? You know how many teams are interested? From G, I totally agree, man. You've got Dylan Larkin, 5 years left on his contract. And he said he asked for a trade. Now, keep in mind, he's never made that's not true. He made the playoffs as a rookie. Then he's played another 10 years, hasn't made it. The last decade, he's never made the playoffs. Is Dylan Larkin going to be, I'm only going to 2 teams? Probably not. Like, you could look at Minnesota. You could look at Anaheim. You could look at Montreal. You can look at Buffalo. Like, there's lots of teams. Now, Buffalo's in the division. Montreal's in the division. I think those 2 teams will have a disadvantage. Because if I'm Detroit, Like, let's be honest here. I don't want to trade Larkin in my own division if I can avoid it. Right? You're not doing that. Hey, Gregor, bang on about teams win, not players. It's like Patrick Maroon, solid player, but highly overrated as far as a key piece and how he wins. You just got to be on good teams. Dude, could not agree with you more on that. It becomes a little bit overrated. You're a depth guy and you're on teams. And yeah, you were on the team. Great. That's awesome to win. Don't get me wrong. But it's more about right place, right time than anything else. Hey, boys, why not Larkin for Thomas straight up? Could happen. And Detroit and St. Louis have made a lot of trades. Now, they're out of the division, right? It's out of the conference. I do think Detroit, you know, if you're going to weigh all the options from all these teams, I would think Larkin probably could give you a list of 5-6 teams he'd be willing to go to. And almost all of those teams would be interested in him because there's a lot of teams that would look and say, hey, this guy might be our number one center, but God, if he's our number 2 center, we got a really good team. Really good team. And that's where I think it is at Dylan Larkin. But I don't see the Oilers really having the piece because I look at it. You're trading Dylan Larkin. I think the main piece you want back, because you got to understand, Detroit hasn't made the playoffs in a decade. They don't have time to take on lots of young guys and rebuild. Like, because what's going to happen? Mo Sider's going to come out next year and ask for a trade. And then all of a sudden, now you're in a rebuild after a decade. That's going to make Buffalo's 14 years look short. So I think Detroit's going to look and say, yeah, you know what? We'll trade the guy we don't want to, but we will. But we're going to be looking for a fair package that's going to help us today. And Robert Thomas for Dylan Larkin, I could see that. Right? Just to change the scenery. It kind of like the Heatley Hossa trade. Remember that trade? Pretty good trade. 2 really good players. Heatley ended up scoring 50 goals twice. Hossa had a good career. Then obviously he left and had an unbelievable success later on. But it's a pretty good trade. 2 really good skill players. So, hey guys, don't sleep on LA. Yeah, hey, 100%, Mike. With the Kopitar retirement. But if I look at the LA Kings, who is the player on the Kings that I look at and say, okay, like who's the key piece to trade in that one? Would a Quentin Byfield Dylan Larkin trade? Right now, that might say, well, you're trading Byfield, but he's 23, big body. Larkin's older. LA might say, geez, we don't want to do that because now we're not really, necessarily getting better. We're getting a more productive player for sure. But we don't have 2 centers. But that's a challenge, man. Like it's hard to get Dylan Larkin unless, like, if you think you're just going to get Dylan Larkin for scraps, I think you're kidding yourself. I'd be surprised. I could be wrong, but I would be surprised if you're getting Dylan Larkin for draft picks and 1 good prospect. I don't see it happening. Quick break. We'll return, and hey, we'll go to Carolina, baby. Hey, maybe the Canes. Depends on what happens with them. They haven't been afraid to swing for the fences. They might do it. And they got some pieces. So don't count out Carolina. We'll talk to Corey Lavalette next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
You may get up early,
But more tthan likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more, like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream, all swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with 650 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Flying through a Thursday afternoon. Man, it is flying by. It's almost 4:30 already. Only got a half an hour left in your workday. Or maybe some of you are already done. Live it up while you can. Live it up. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can live it up. The Daily Grand, $1,000 a day. For life. Oh, really? For the next 20 years. That's $7.3 million. Every day. $1,000. Now, you can take a lump sum payment, and I know some of you would, but to me, I'd feel more grounded getting $1,000 a day for 20 years. And, you can put it away, you save it, you can have some fun, live it up, and know that, you don't really, it would lower your stress level knowing you make $1,000 every day. Now, that's $1,000 after taxes, right? There's no tax on that. That's like legit. It's like you're making $2,000 a day. Pretty good. Pretty good. We're going to get around the NHL now, brought to you by McDonald's, and it's back for summer, boys and girls. Vanilla cones for only $1 all summer, exclusively in the McDonald's app. Download the app, and you can get in to your cones for $1 only at McDonald's. Think about it. You show up there, you got the team, all of a sudden, $15. 15 kids are getting a cone. Pretty good deal right now at McDonald's. As we go out to Carolina, game 2 tonight at a pivotal game too for the Hurricanes, as they need a win. Corey Lavalette joins us, and Corey, Rod Brindamore and the players, obviously they didn't love their game one performance. It wasn't like game one against Montreal, I don't think, after 11-day break. I think there are times where they really liked their game, but defensively they just seemed like their timing was a little bit off. Vegas really kind of took advantage of some defensive mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was just a little feeling out period. I don't think anybody really expected 9 goals in game one, the way these two teams have played. But yeah, I think maybe a little bit of jitters for both sides, a little bit of, kind of understanding what you're up against. Both sides had plenty of opportunities, and the goalies I didn't think played, particularly well on either side. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll see it a little more buttoned up tonight. I think I wouldn't expect 9 goals.
Well, selfishly, I hope there is, because lead changes are exciting for sure. If you look at it specifically, now that they've had an extra day to talk about it, are there specific areas or situations that the Hurricanes feel they need to be better in?
Yeah, I think, the big thing is they need to get that top line going, right? So those guys need to, make it a little more simple. I think everywhere else they were pretty pleased with how things went, aside from, the couple of breakdowns that you talked about. But I think the big thing is just getting those big 3 horses up front with Aho, Jarvis, and Svechnikov to kind of, maybe not try to do it alone, maybe not try to do it dynamically, just kind of take it easy. Play a straight ahead game, north-south, and maybe get back to the basics a little bit. And if they can get going, this is a whole different series. If they can't get going, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, well, hey, you lose 2 in a row at home in the Stanley Cup Final. The odds are not in your favor whatsoever. Meanwhile, Vegas, hey, they get a win. Their blue line comes up with 11 points. McNabb, first ever 3-assist game. Shea Theodore plays very well. They really seem to have, does Carolina have to defend their defense of Vegas different in game 2?
I don't think so. I mean, I didn't think there was anything particularly dynamic about what they did. The Shea Theodore goal is, a shot that hits a Hurricane in front and goes in. Brayden McNabb obviously gets some points. I don't know that he did anything that surprises anyone, but, get some points. So I don't think they're too worried about that. It wasn't like, you had defensemen walking the line and making incredible plays or anything. Really, the best play for Vegas was the game winner, which wasn't really on the defense at all. It was a little give and go with Hurdle that worked out really well.
Yeah. Corey, you look at Carolina. It's interesting, this team. Hey, we've seen it under Tuloski, and even before. They've been pretty aggressive. From the ownership down, they're not afraid to get involved. And if by chance they come up short, the Dylan Larkin name, who's out there now in trade, I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Carolina Hurricanes said, "Hey, we'll jump into that."
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing you need to know about this front office is they look in on everyone. So no matter who the name is, they're going to be in on it, and they're going to be asking questions. I think that's a player that Rod Brindamore likes a real lot. So if that's the case and he is truly available and the price is something they feel makes sense, I could definitely see them, in on that. And I think Logan Stankoven's proven that he's an NHL center now. But Jordan Stahl's got 1 year left on his deal. He's not getting any younger. Certainly down the middle of Aho, Larkin, Stankoven doesn't sound too bad if that's something they could pull off without, giving up, a Stankoven or something like that.
Yeah, well, I think if you're going to get Dylan Larkin, he's got 5 years at $8.7 million. I know he's asked for the trade, and I know he has a no movement clause. But there's lots of teams. There's very few teams that have, 2 legit top centers that they love, right? There's a few teams for sure, but not many. And it's kind of fascinating when a guy like that, we all know for sure, is on the block. You hear rumors, maybe Robert Thomas and these other guys, but now Larkin's on there, and it's going to be a fascinating kind of wrinkle to the summer, especially coming around draft season, which is kind of like the second trade window leading up to the trade deadline in the NHL. There's lots of moves made then. And so, the Hurricanes obviously, 4 wins away from winning, but if they lose, for a team that got that close, I wouldn't be surprised to see them get aggressive for certain. When you look at the game-winning goal and you break it down, and Carolina likes to play that defense, like they can't really change their style by any stretch, but what do you think ideally they would want different, defensively man-to-man in some situations tonight in game 2?
Yeah, I mean, on that goal, and I mean, he admitted to it, Shane Gostisbehere just took a half a second and didn't stop skating, and that gave Hertl just enough of a window to get that one stride and create some space. And then all of a sudden he's alone in the slot for a chance. So, I think that's a tough one. That's probably your worst skating defenseman is Gostisbehere, and he's done a really good job at becoming a better defensive player. And that's a tough play. And like I said, he wore it. He took it and said, that's on me. I took a breath, and that can't happen. And you're not going to change your philosophy of what got you here. Like, Rod believes in what they do. The team believes in what Rod believes in. But you can't afford to have, that little lapse that Gostisbehere had, especially in a pivotal moment like that.
Yeah. Corey, there's no more obvious stat than, hey, 12-0, we give up 2 goals or less. 0-2, they've given up 5 goals or more. So it's, Captain Obvious. Hey, and I know it's not that simple to say if Carolina can hold the opposition to 2 goals, they're going to win. Like, yeah, no bleep. Of course, your chances go up significantly with it. But it's kind of interesting, just the dynamics of how when they've lost, it's been really bad. And then every other game of the playoffs, they've been pretty almost unpenetrable defensively.
Yeah. I think this, like I said, I think on both sides, this game was a bit of an anomaly. I don't think Vegas is going to play as loose tonight as they did in game 1. I don't think Carolina will either. I didn't think either goalie was particularly good in game 1. I don't know if this is something Carolina is going to try to exploit, but Carter Hart's blocker side looked terrible in game 1. Like, he gives up 2 goals there that maybe one of them he screened on, but that would concern me a little bit if I was Vegas, if Carolina can feast on something like that. And then, Anderson, I think you would have liked, one big save maybe in there out of those that went in. But at the same time, so many of those are, like I said, the Theodore goal is a deflection in front, not much you can do about that, but a lot of chances that were kind of, unimpeded. And the same thing for Hart too. You can't let Nick Ehlers have a breakaway and expect a save every time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I look back on it, the breakaway, Stankoven scores in that breakaway. It's 3-0. It might have been good night Irene right there.
Yeah. I mean, you're totally right. And one thing I wrote about today, they decided not to challenge that 2-1 goal.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a lot of their game earlier in the year in Florida, where they got up 3-0 on Florida early, and Brad Marchand cup checks Brandon Bussey. Bussey goes to the ice, and 3 seconds later, Marchand scores, and all of a sudden it's 3-1 in the second period, and Brind'Amour doesn't challenge because he's probably worried, if I challenge, that gives them the power play. If they score, they have all the momentum, and Florida comes back and wins in overtime anyway. And I kind of wonder if there was a little bit of the same thing here of, well, it's 2-1, and if they don't overturn it, we give them a power play, and it could quickly be 2-2. I would have liked to see a challenge there because I think there was a little bit of contact, and you just don't know the way these calls are going to go. And it wasn't, overly egregious, I don't think. But, he is in the crease on his own accord. Does make a little bit of contact, and you wonder, how that goes. But that's, we're playing a little bit of hindsight is 2020 here. So, but I would have, I kind of wonder if, that reminded me a lot of that game in December.
Yeah, really good point. Good memory. So Corey, we know the building's going to be loud. The Hurricanes, I actually thought overall they probably really liked their start in game 1. They want to continue it. It's rare to see them blow a 2-goal lead. I'm sure you have the stat. Like, how many times this year have they blown a 2-goal lead?
Actually, they did a few times because they had a little bit of a lull in the middle of the year where things weren't going great, and it was all in that same time frame of that Florida game that I just talked about. But a lot of that was when they were down playing 3 rookie defensemen because they had Gostisbehere out, they had Slavin out. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect them to. You made the point. Like, if they give up, they've given up 2 or fewer goals so many times this postseason that I don't think. Scoring too quick in the game, you would think you've got this thing buttoned up and you can just sit back and maybe, coast to a win here. And I don't think we're going to see that kind of high scoring game for the rest of the series maybe, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of dynamic players out there, and guys made plays in game 1.
Corey, as always, man, great stuff. Enjoy the atmosphere of Game 2 tonight. Appreciate it.
Sounds good. I'll be in your time zone soon.
There you go. That's Corey Lavalette joining us from Carolina. Well, you'll fly through our time zone to get to Vegas for sure, but won't be landing in the same time zone. 4:41. Quick break. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Hi, I'm Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal's only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package, and the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on rollers, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Whether you're refinancing or buying your first home, mortgages are easier with help from a neighbor. At Vision Credit Union, you get face-to-face guidance from local lenders who know the market because, well, they live here too. They'll look at your whole financial picture with practical advice for payments, renewals, refinancing, and what makes sense long-term. Get a more neighborly mortgage. Contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca.
You probably know Stingray for radio advertising.
What about digital advertising?
Yeah, we do that.
Connected TV?
We do that.
Search and social?
And that.
Programmatic? Digital out of home?
We do it all. Endless digital platforms to connect your business to more customers, to intrigue them, engage them, so they choose your product or service. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com and let us help your business grow. We are Stingray. That's what we do.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Strolling through a Thursday afternoon. How are you? Lovely day out today. Get some more heat, hopefully, on the weekend. That'd be nice. Coming up, the 4-day kickoff deals begins tomorrow at The Brick. As we get to 5 questions, brought to you by The Brick. You get free local delivery when you buy 2 or more select major appliances. They got some door crasher alerts starting tomorrow. You can get counter stools for only $59. Queen beds starting at $199. 5-piece dining packages for just $6.99. So if you're in need of some household items, get it at The Brick this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Brick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. Of course, back to the article up about Darnell Nurse move happening eventually with the no movement clause going to a 10-team list. If or when this does happen, where do you think would be an ideal landing spot?
Ideal. I don't know. It all depends on the return, really, for me. And it's I've looked at a lot of teams to I know like San Jose because they really needed a defenseman, but like if you trade Darnell Nurse and you don't get a defenseman back in return, well, now you're just looking for another 20-minute night defenseman. So, and then what are you going to have to get up to give him? So now you can do it. You know, if there was some free agent defenseman, it might be a little bit different. Okay, we'll trade Nurse here because then we're going to bring in this guy here. And it's like a multi-layered plan. And that might be the case. Like, okay, maybe I trade Nurse for a forward, San Jose, hypothetically. But then I have another trade in place or signing or something that replaces Nurse. Because, hey, make no mistake, Ekholm's getting older. Okay? He is. That's just a fact. I don't think he's a top pair defenseman much longer. He could be a really good second pair defenseman. I have no problem with it. So that's kind of how I view it. I can't think of a destination because I think for Edmonton, it's not so much where he goes. It's what is Edmonton getting back in a deal that doesn't have them lose the trade like the Stu Skinner trade. At least in year 1, they lost the Skinner trade. They might win it next year. Jari might bounce back and play very well. But year 1, no debate, they lost the trade.
Yeah, that was quite evident. The team that came to mind for me, like you said, San Jose kind of makes sense because they need defensemen. But what would the return be? Yeah, I'm intrigued by this to see if and when it happens and what it's going to be. Question number 2 for you. Game 2 tonight. Let's get a prediction and throw in a bold prediction as well.
Well, I feel this series is going to go long, so I got to say Carolina wins. And bold prediction, they shut out Vegas.
Ooh.
Low scoring game.
That is bold. I'm going to, because I like you said it earlier today, I think this is a must win for the Hurricanes, but I don't know if it'll be enough. I'm going to say Vegas wins 4-2, Mitch Marner, 2 goals, 1 being an empty netter. Question number 3 for you. A fan who ran onto the Frostbank Center court during the 4th quarter of last night's NBA Finals and attempted to take a selfie with Spurs star Victor Wembanyama was arrested, given a lifetime ban from all NBA arenas. I say attempted because I think he only got like his neck in the picture. Do you think this is a fair ban?
Yes. 1,000%. 1,000. Don't be an idiot. Make punishment severe enough that other people don't want to do it. Now, how do you enforce it? It's a challenge, right? What if the guy wants to wear a mustache one night? Probably get in, but it's pretty serious for sure. And I like it. That there's no place for that. You're not the star. No one's paying to watch you. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's just a bonehead decision? I'm sorry. Just is.
Yeah, I'm with you. You got to stop this as immediate as you can. We don't need more and more idiots running onto the court or ice, whatever it is, field, whatever it might be. It's just stupid. And it's, I think, tougher to monitor in the NBA because you have fans sitting so close. So,
yeah.
Good on the security for getting there when they did. Man, maybe you got to slam them next time to kind of scare people from doing that. But I'm on board for sure. And I hope there is a huge fine going along with it. Question number 4. Some Canadians in contention at the Memorial after 1 round. Who's your pick to win the event this weekend in Ohio?
Go ahead.
I would love to say Nick Taylor. I mean, he's right there. He's 4 under. They've got 4 atop the leaderboard at 5 under par. So for me, he would be the heart pick. But I'll go Tony Finau to make a run here. He's 3 strokes back, but lots of golf to be played.
I'm gonna go with Nick Taylor. It's a complete homer pick, and I have no issues doing it. Right? He's 1 stroke off. So yeah, I'll just say this: Nick Taylor, Tommy Fleetwood, final pairing Sunday.
All right. Final question. Today is National Cheese Day. So in honor of that, give me your power rankings, 1 through 3, we'll say, of foods that have cheese as a key ingredient.
Go ahead.
Number 3, I'm going to say grilled cheese sandwich. Number 2, mac and cheese. And number 1, pizza. Can't have a pizza without a cheese. I've seen it done before. The people that, are lactose intolerant, it's awful. So pizza's number 1. Have you ever seen anyone do that?
Well, have a like a cheese-free pizza.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't even like cheese pizza. I think that's like just cheese on the pizza. Like, I'm sorry. I get it for kids maybe, but I'm like, I find that's the biggest waste. I'm like, I'll just slice a few pieces of cheese, eat that straight, right? And have a piece of bread. Like, that's basically what I'm doing. What the hell am I combining them for? The cheese pizza is the worst. Kids have it. You want to get a kid pizza? Fine. But cheese pizza, terrible. Terrible.
Just for the record, I'm talking pizza in general.
No. I know that.
Yeah.
I was just going. So, favorite food that has cheese as an ingredient. Well, I won't copy you, so I'm gonna go lasagna.
Good call.
Good amount of cheese is awesome. I will have the fettuccine at Vivo. Oh, and their homemade cheese, it's unreal. So that'll be 2. And honestly, I'm going to go with very simple, but I love it. I like when you have a charcuterie board with lots of cheese, crackers, meat, pickles. Boom. That's what I'm going. Because then you get to experience a lot of different cheeses. So great, man. Love it.
A lot of people saying sleeping on nachos, which is fair, but it is just our top 3.
Yeah. Well, nachos, you got to have extra cheese though, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You get the two proteins on top as well, chicken and beef. That's how you do it.
You have both at once?
Oh, yeah.
I can't, what, honestly, I don't think I've ever had nachos with both. I've had them, like I've had nachos with beef. I've had nachos with chicken. I don't think I've ever had nachos with beef and chicken. Ooh.
You got to do it.
I like it. I like the, I have a lot of bison now on tacos. Good. Right? Find it doesn't.
Taste or like health? Is it?
Well, both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah. Both. So big fan of the bison meat right now. It's really good. But nachos without enough cheese, again, big fail. Right? Like, you know how you go out to some places and they put all the cheese on top? Like, if you're having nachos, you got to layer it. Like nachos at home, I'll make it on like the flat, I call it a cookie sheet, but on the flat cookie sheet, and lay them all out, and then you put grate the cheese all over. Awesome. But when you go out in a bar or a pub someplace, and they'll bring you a plate of nachos, well, usually it's like the top one, but then there's no cheese in the middle. The restaurants that know what they're doing, they put some chips, then some cheese, then more chips and cheese. So now everybody's getting some cheese, not just the top chippers. It's a fail.
It's got to be long. You don't need as high. You don't need to stack it 7 layers.
Yeah.
Let's go, spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Good point from Dean about the restaurants that skimp on
salsa
or whatever.
Dude.
Too.
Yeah.
Like a little cup. Come on.
I really like guac, though, with nachos.
Yeah.
Good guac. Oof. I think I like guac better now than I like salsa, to be honest. I'll take guac and honestly, at home, I just use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. So good. So now I've got a whole itching for nachos. I haven't had nachos in a while, man. Oof. I'm gonna have to have some there soon. Just a random day. Usually we have them like, big football parties, Grey Cup, definitely. Super Bowl for sure. And then a few random times, but probably not enough. I'd have to start mixing in few more. Hey, guys, what about a good old-fashioned cheeseburger? It's not a bad call. Barbecue it with the cheese on it. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, guys, poutine. Yeah. I got spoiled. We had poutine in the J.H. Picard cafeteria. And that was the greatest poutine I've ever had in my life. It was thick, but not too runny. Because I've had some poutines and then like they're either got too much curds and it's too thick, not good, or it's too runny, not good. J.H. Picard, if you were in the vintage of J.H. Picard, early 90s, oh, unbelievable poutine at school, Connor. Like literally back in the day, you know, when you're a teenager, you could almost eat anything. You know, well, we were active. So if you're active, you could eat almost like you could eat poutine every day and it didn't seem like didn't gain no weight. Now I couldn't do it. But God, back then it was amazing. I love it.
I don't love how it gets soggy.
Oh, that's why I got it. Yeah.
So when I do poutine, I get gravy on the side. And I like it in that fashion. I had like a pulled pork poutine once. It was unbelievable out in Golden. But yeah, I'm not ordering poutine very often.
Hey guys, have you ever eaten goat? Goat cheese, but goat milk. I've never eaten goat meat. No, never. Can't say.
What's the craziest animal you've eaten? Have you done like alligator or anything?
Oh yeah, I've had alligator, crocodile. Well, easily, buddy. It would have been prairie oyster. Like,
oh
yeah, tried it once and got through it, but wouldn't do it again. When I was in Belize, they had like I can't remember that, like some bug thing that we ate, and like they're crunchy and you're so that was all right. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like an appetizer thing. So wasn't lots, but like I took one. It was just, I think it was more of a mental thing. Had I closed my eyes and you just put it in my mouth, I'm like, oh, it's crunchy. But once someone tells you what it is, I think automatically now you've got the psychological hurdle to overcome. So I think that's more of the battle than the food itself. Like that's why if you were on Fear Factor and they just said, okay, you got to eat this. You're like, well, what is it? Just eat it. You'd be more willing to try. But someone tells you, oh, it's like, lamb nut. No, thanks. Right? It's just, once you know what it is, I find it's harder to eat, at least for me. Now, granted, I haven't gone to certain countries where they eat some things that like I would never eat. Like there's no chance. So it's not like dog or even like there's certain ocean foods. Like I know, Cons, you don't eat any, but I love shrimp and mussels and, love oysters.
Calamari?
Oh yeah, I have no problem with calamari. Now, somehow they make it like when they make the real big, long, thick ones of calamari, I'm not as much of a fan. It's a little bit too fishy then for me, but I just find sometimes not knowing what it is better. Hey, boys, Rabbit Hill Poutine, the early 2000s, #1 in the Edmonton area. Corey. Ooh, all right. I like that. Let's take a break. We'll come back. And how soon was, like, if Speck looks into his crystal ball today, is he talking like this summer or is he waiting until the 10-team trade list? Well, that's down the road. It's year 2. Well, actually, it's next summer, but it's a long ways to wait. We'll see. 833-401-1440. Let's get to the con man. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. And the June Road Trip Ready event is on right now. The biggest sale of the year. Enter for a chance to win free gas for the summer and weekly prizes like the detail packages, free tires, and you can get a 1995 multi-point vehicle inspection. NorthgateGM.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 2, Stanley Cup Final goes tonight from Carolina. Canes and Golden Knights. Puck drop just after 6. Vegas leading 1-0. Red Wings captain Dylan Larkin requesting a trade out of Detroit after 11 seasons. The move comes after the franchise failed to make the playoffs for the 10th consecutive season. Week 1 of the CFL kicks off tonight out in Hamilton. Ticats and Owls get going in about 30 minutes time. Major League Baseball Blue Jays in action once again, taking on the Braves at 5:15. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed following the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, you got the Royals and the Twins, Cubbies, Athletics, Pirates, and Houston, and the Diamondbacks host the Dodgers. Earlier today, Padres fall to the Phillies 6-4. It was the Red Sox losing at home to the Orioles 8-2. Yankees over the Guardians 2-1. And the Giants get past the Brewers 12-9. Riverhawks earlier today also losing to Victoria by a score of 6-2. They'll be back in action to get on Nanaimo this weekend. And some news for Canada at the World Cup. Head coach Jesse Marsh confirming Maxime Crepeau will be getting the start when they get the tournament going next Friday. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear Cam Pate's 2-minute warning and be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Mr. Rooter buries evidence in the desert.
I didn't mean to do it. I was forced into it. Yeah, forced. But now, no one will ever know. You've done well, Mr. Rooter. You did something awful, but you've covered your tracks. It's done. The last transcript that shows I did a semester of Christian school.
Uncover evidence of the proudest plumber, Mr. Rooter.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shack-abated memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shack is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Whether you're refinancing or buying your first home, mortgages are easier with help from a neighbor. At Vision Credit Union, you get face-to-face guidance from local lenders who know the market because, well, they live here too. They'll look at your whole financial picture with practical advice for payments, renewals, refinancing, and what makes sense long-term. Get a more
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 14.
Contact your branch today.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X.
Hi, Edmonton. Fuel prices are climbing, and Subaru fights back with the all-new, all-electric 2026 Trail Seeker. With up to 444 kilometers of range, fast charging, legendary Subaru symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, the Trail Seeker is built to help you go further. And when summer adventure calls, it's ready with towing capacity of 1,587 kilograms. Test drive the all-new Trail Seeker. Visit your local Subaru dealership today and seek every trail. Welcome to Uncommon.
Cougar Creek Golf Resort is now open and in great condition. Experience our championship-length golf course, surrounded by trees and rolling terrain, and only minutes from Edmonton. Book a tee time today. Go to cougarcreekgolf.com and click on golf.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care, Edmonton's multidisciplinary health clinic at West Edmonton Mall. Physicians, physio, massage, sports psychology, and more. One team, one roof, one plan. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock. How are you on a Thursday afternoon? Hoping you're having a great day. Big plans for the weekend. Football fans, green and gold fans, you've had a lot of pain. You've taken a lot of shots the last few years. Well, your hope for better things begins on Saturday. On the road in Ottawa. A game you need to win. That's a game Edmonton's got to win. Like, you want to take a next step? You want to build you want to give your fans some faith and some hope? You got to beat an Ottawa team. I'm sorry. Week 1, you're fairly healthy. I know Barlow's done for the year, but everywhere else you're healthy. You've improved your O-line. You've improved your D-line. There's some questions on the receiving corps, fair. Not that the receiving corps last year was great, though, let's be honest. You got your running back back. You got your quarterback back. Your secondary's back. Your linebackers are back. Your coach is back. Win. Win, win, win. Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Check out, we got a little Elks odds boost for you. Special on the Jason Gregor Show. And also it is the Daily Grand. Thursdays. $1,000 a day. The next 20 years of your life. $7.3 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Time now for the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. And if you are looking for a job, they're hiring. Top men, pipe layers, operators, and more. GSConstruction.ca. Look up careers. Mark Spector joins us today. And Spec, your article about Darnell Nurse is obviously getting lots of traction. And you mentioned it's just a matter of time to see what happens. What do you think this is something that can happen before the trade deadline, before during the draft weekend?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a couple things. Bowman has not spoken with Nurse. He did his exit interview with Nurse after the season. That was more probably about the season itself. Nurse went away to the World Championships, and Bowman's plan is to speak again with Nurse and figure this out. Right? That's the plan. Nurse has all the cards, and I would put myself in Bowman's shoes and think you got to be a little careful. You can't approach a player and say, "Hey man, we want you out of here." And he says, "Really? Because I'm staying this year." And I'm the one that gets to decide. And then you got a disgruntled player that you've probably put in a tough spot. So, there's a little bit of bedside manner here, but Bowman has to talk to Nurse and figure out, probably say to Nurse that, listen, your deal changes next year and it's a 10-team list and we're probably going to exercise that. So, if you feel like you want to spend one more year here, that's up to you. And if you feel like the knowledge that we're probably going to move you a year from now wants you to move right now, say the word and we'll get to work on it.
What do you think Nurse says?
That's a good question, eh? I thought about that a lot. What do you think he says?
I'm kind of torn.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of people, like, Edmonton's all he knows, right? And
which
so
is a good and bad thing.
Yeah, there's comfort in that for all people, right? Like, there's comfort in that. I think, he's got some of his best friends in hockey who play there. The Oilers have been to 2 of the last 3 Stanley Cup Finals. He's on a good team. So it's not like he's getting traded, out of the Detroit Red Wings, hello, Dylan Larkin. We'll get to that in a second. So I think there's that challenge. There's also the fact that, at times Nurses, I think, looked at I felt at times that it hasn't been a lot of, hey, I need to be better from Darnell Nurse. Not that he's the only problem. Trust me, he isn't. I've never been one to believe, trade this one guy and all the problems of the organization are solved. There's limitations to his game. There's limitations to most players' games. So I don't know. I don't know him well enough, Spec, at all. It's funny. Like, I've covered guys in sports for lots of years. For a guy I've covered that long, he's probably the guy that I know the least.
Yep.
To be honest.
Yep.
And from what I've known, there's a little bit of woe is me at times that irks me personally. That's just me. So I would say that it's probably the most likely it's ever been that he might consider it, but I don't think it's overly high.
Well, that's fair. All of those things you say are true. I have the same relationship. I've known him as long as you, since the day they drafted him. And for all those years, we have a good relationship. I had something that happened to me. I'll tell you the story last year. He played an awful game. I wrote about it afterwards on the road and wrote that Darnell Nurse was terrible tonight. And then I learned later that his wife had a baby at 3 a.m. and he had no sleep.
Okay.
I didn't know that when I wrote it. In my book, if you go through that, if you stay up all night because your wife's having a baby and you play the next day, you get a free pass. Had I known that, I never would have dwelled on the fact that he had a terrible game. So I went up to him in the room a couple days later and I said, listen, I'm sorry. I apologize. I just didn't know. Had I known, I wouldn't have carved you up. And you know what? He was straight up, man. He says, no problem. If I go out there, you can, I'm responsible for playing good hockey. If you don't think I play well, you say so. He looked me in the eye and he took it like a man. And I thought, you know what? Good for you. And so my point is, he's a totally honest guy in that respect. And I got a lot of respect for him. But I don't know him very well over the years. He's been very guarded. He's always been guarded with the media. He's a fun guy to talk to, but the minute you start to, you pull out a notepad or a recorder, he gets a little bit defensive, a little bit guarded. He's not quite as wordy as when we're just standing around, Jay, like you, me, and him shooting the breeze.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really good guy in there, but it's totally different when he's dealing with media. And I think that goes all the way back to Uncle Donovan McNabb and the treatment he got by the Philly press, frankly. I think the Nurse family learned then that the media are all bad guys. And I don't know how Sarah Nurse is. I don't know how Kia Nurse is. But I know Darnell Nurse sort of looks at us like we're bad guys until we prove we're not good guys. And it's been a lot of years, and I don't know, it hasn't changed much. So anyhow, having said all that, here's the biggest thing for me, Jay. I would say that there's a ton of players, lots of players who feel like they got to stay on their first team forever. The Taylor Halls and the Jordan Eberleys and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has done that. Darnell Nurse has done that. But when they get to their second team or maybe their third team, they realize, man, there's a big world out there and there's a lot of different teams and they do things different ways. And, this isn't as bad as I thought. I should have done this a long time ago. Guys, that's why so many guys are so much better on their second team, Vasily Podkolzin. I think if someone was to impart that to Darnell Nurse, I think that a change of scenery and a second team and a new look and a new responsibility and new expectations, I think would be great for him as a player. If I'm this is going to sound weird, if I'm his father or his agent, I'm saying, Darnell, find a second team and go to it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I think there's some truth to that, because we don't know what we don't know for all of us, right? You never know. Now, hey, some people go to second team and it's not as good, right? Like, I've talked to players who asked for trades because they thought, just as brutal, whatever. Coach was like, they got to a new team. He's like, dude, geez, maybe what I had wasn't as bad, right? So it can work both ways. And I think for the Oilers, if you end up moving Darnell Nurse, which is totally fine, like, trust me, Darnell Nurse can be traded. You just can't have a Stuart Skinner trade. It can't be one that you give up too much and lose the trade. Can't do it. You don't have to win the trade, but you can't clearly lose the trade.
Well, it's pretty complicated in terms of the return, Jay, because you're trading a guy who I would say he's 31 years old. He's a 4-5 defenseman in this league. Let's say he's a 4, just for fun. $4 million fourth defenseman, number 4 defenseman, make what? Jay?
I think Nurse is more than a 4. You go
he's
around
not a 3. He's been a 3 here his whole career, and he's overpaid for it. He's not a 3.
Well, actually, you know, it's funny, Spec. I was looking. He was a 1 for a few years. When his best years were actually when Darnell Nurse played 23 to 25 minutes. I looked it up. It's when he's played 20 to 21 the last few that have actually been way worse for him, funny enough. But no, to me, Darnell Nurse is you go around the league on teams, I think Darnell Nurse is definitely a second pair defenseman. He's easily a second pair. He's probably a number 3 on a lot of teams. Like, he'd be a top pair defenseman on team, not necessarily cup contending teams. I want to make that
bad
clear.
team, sure.
Right.
Like, he could be a number 2 on a bad team,
Yeah.
sure. But
but
on a good team, and I should state
even
it more
on good
clearly.
teams, I think Nurse would be a second pair defenseman all day.
He's a second pair defenseman, but he's a 4. He's not a 3, in my opinion. And a 4 on a good team, good teams tend to be capped out. They're $5 to $6 million players. He makes 9.25. So, you know, that part's an issue. Let's get back to where we started here, Jay. You were talking about return in trade. I mean, there's a few things here. If you trade him to a team and he accepts, at this point, he's calling the shots on where he goes for another year here. And then it's a 10-team trade list. So if you trade him to a team that's just trying to get to the floor, that would be a non-contending team, I would say to you, right? Contenders aren't just trying to get to the floor. So if you trade it to a team just trying to get the floor, they'll take the money and they probably won't give you much back, but they won't ask you to retain, and they might not even give you back a bad contract. But I would say to you, Jay, you might trade Darnell Nurse and your return is $9.25 million in cap space. And I'm not sure you're not happy enough about that. I don't need a good player back if I don't have to retain, if I don't have to take your unwanted contract. You just want to take Nurse. I'm not sure Stan Bowman wouldn't do that.
He might. And you free up the cap space, yes.
Cap space is king, brother. Cap space is king.
I don't know. I don't know if it's as much of a king moving forward, because lots of teams are going to have cap space and some teams aren't going to spend their cap space. And the other thing is, right now they're like, it's not just cap space, because free agency isn't going to be what free agency is moving forward. We're seeing that now. Teams they all keep their guys. So you have cap space to acquire players, but now you have to give up a lot of other assets to acquire those players. That's the challenge.
Oh, for sure. And the free agent market isn't great.
No.
The free agent market isn't great. So you got to find someone. I mean, on next year's Oilers team, I think you're going to see Jake Wallman's asked to play a little bit more. I think you'll see Matthias Ekholm, lefty. I think he'll be asked to play, hopefully, for his, probably a little bit less, right? A little bit less as he gets older. And if you're taking Nurse's 21 minutes out of the pile here, you got to find someone to take that. You can't just give them all to Spencer Stastny. You can't do that. So, there's definitely, if you move Nurse, you got to bring somebody in here. You got to bring a second pairing defenseman in, but hopefully, you bring one in that doesn't make first pairing money. I mean, that's the biggest issue here, Jay, is you got a first pairing a defenseman paid as if he's the first pairing guy who's just a second pairing defenseman.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not, it's not going to be hey, we trade Darnell Nurse and it's going to be a massive win. I don't see that. They just can't they just can't have it be a massive loss. That to me is the big one for the Oilers. Dylan Larkin comes out and says, guess what? We're ready to move on from Detroit. I've had it 10 years in a row, no playoffs. Time to move on. Man, there's going to be, I think, a long list. He's got 5 years at $8.7 million. His last 5 years, he scored between 30 and 34 goals. He is between 69 and 79 points. So pretty consistent. You kind of know what you're getting. You're getting a 32-goal scorer or a 69-point player, right? Give or take. Yeah, well, it's not six, probably 74-point player on average, right? It's kind of what it is. So I look at Larkin and Minnesota, Anaheim, Montreal, Buffalo. Like, there's a lot of teams who would want a second line center. And Minnesota has a GM who's very aggressive. But to me, the thing is, if I'm Detroit and I'm going to trade Larkin, I have to get an NHL forward. I've missed the playoffs 10 years in a row, Spec. I can't go into a big rebuild here and miss again.
No. I mean, come on. how does Steve Yzerman needs even Steve Yzerman in Detroit, which might be one of the safest GM jobs, one of the best relationships with an owner anybody ever had at some point here. You know, Buffalo just finally passed you by. Montreal's passed you by. Ottawa's passed you by, right? Those 4 rebuilds in that Atlantic division, you're the only one that can't make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, obviously Larkin's had enough of it. Your best player just said, yeah, thanks, I'm out of here. Your veteran leader guy. That's a problem. Like, that's, if he wants out, that's not good. So, you know, listen, they're tapping their foot in Detroit. Like, how long is this rebuild good? How many different GMs and coaches and stuff did Buffalo go through? And Steve Yzerman has been the only GM they've had in Detroit. So, yes, it's time for change. He's got complete control of this thing, Dylan Larkin, right? Because he's got a no trade contract, so he gets to control where he goes.
Mm-hmm.
And you bet teams are lining up. That's different. You'll get a big return for Dylan Larkin because he's worth every penny he's getting paid. He's an excellent player who's right in his prime. It's completely different than the Darnell Nurse trade, no question.
Yeah. There's rumblings about Barzell on the Islanders. You know, would a Barzell for Larkin trade with some other pieces involved make sense? You know, there's people talking about Vancouver. I don't like Dylan Larkin ain't going to Vancouver. There's no chance, right? Barzell
ain't going to Vancouver, buddy.
You know, Barzell for Pettersson. Yeah, I could see it really. Barzell's from there, so you know, there's a chance. I don't know about Elias Pettersson, man. And if you're the New York Islanders, like obviously Vancouver's retaining, but do you want to retain for that long? You might have to. I don't know. So it will be fascinating to me to see Spec. The summer of trades got a little bit higher. Like, don't count out St. Louis. And you know, is Thomas for Larkin deal? You know, is that just your this decade's version of Hossa for Heatley? You never know. So it should be fun. I don't see how Larkin would fit in Edmonton. I don't see Edmonton having the pieces that Detroit would want. I think Detroit, if they're trading Larkin, because defense is their biggest strength, they want a proven NHL forward in return. And Nugent Hopkins and Hyman are too old. Draisaitl and McDavid are obviously no starters. Edmonton doesn't have another option.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit counts on Larkin is basically their 1C there, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a top line center.
I'm racking my brain here in June for a better center that resides in Detroit than Dylan Larkin, and there isn't one. So you're telling me I'm losing? I got to all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I've built my team around basically this guy's my number 1 center, and he's a damn good one. Now I got to trade him, and you're asking me what I'm getting back. I mean, I got to get a centerman. But don't talk to me about. First of all, why is Larkin leaving Detroit, Jason? Because he's sick of missing the playoffs. He's sick of being in a rebuild.
Yeah.
Right. He's sick of being part of a team that's all about hope and there's not enough there. He's not going to Vancouver.
No.
This is nothing against Vancouver. He's not going to Calgary. He's not going to Ottawa. He's not going to the Kings. He's not going to a whole bunch of places that aren't rock solid. He's looking for a team like Minnesota that's right there.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for a team that, you know, he's looking for a team that's got an absolute chance, like a Tampa, like a Florida, like a, you know, I'd say Edmonton. You're right. Edmonton doesn't work, but Dylan Larkin wants to be in the playoffs and winning a cup, you know, Vegas. Like, he's not, don't talk to me about, you know, St. Louis, right? St. Louis is not St. Louis, man. There's no way he's going to St. Louis.
Yeah. Well, I was just from a trade perspective. It could see it, but you're right. He probably wants
build the trade.
I think I would say right now, Minnesota is the front runner. I wouldn't sleep on Anaheim, Spec. That's a team I could see getting involved.
Nope.
Right? I could see that.
Listen, and there again, you go to Anaheim and you got a legit shot. That team is absolutely loaded for bear and the future looks bright. And there is absolutely a chance, a legitimate Stanley Cup shot in their near future in the next few years for Dylan Larkin. You bet Dylan Larkin. If I'm Dylan Larkin anyway, or his agent, you bet I want to go to Anaheim, man. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
Yeah, I will say the one thing about Anaheim, Spec. Their problem is who's in their division. You got to beat the teams that have been to the Stanley Cup Final the last 4 years, Edmonton and Vegas. And I know they beat Edmonton this year, but they beat Edmonton when they had their 4 centers injured. So I like Anaheim, but like Anaheim could be in a situation where those like, God, we're good, but we're in a really hard division, and that could suck for us. So, but hey, getting Larkin would help.
Well, how long is Edmonton going to be good for?
Well, it's a fair question.
How long is Vegas going to be good for? How long is Edmonton going to be good for?
Well, Edmonton at least 2. Vegas, everything about their organization tells me they could be as good as long as they want because they're ruthless and they don't get emotionally attached. Now, they got a little bit lucky, no question, right? Pietrangelo, well, lucky and unlucky. They lose Pietrangelo, that sucks, but that frees up the money to go get Marner, right? Like there's a little bit of timing and luck involved there because the Marner deal might have still happened. They just would have had to give up more to get him. That's all. Right? They would have had to
say this to you. Any organization that can lose their number one defenseman. Sorry, Jay. Any organization that can lose their number one defenseman, a guy as good as Pietrangelo, and he's one of the best, and still thrive and win and win and win, they know what they're doing down there because that would cripple a lot of organizations.
Yeah, it's fair. Spec, have yourself an awesome day. We will chat with you tomorrow.
All right, enjoy the game tonight, Jay.
There you go. It's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. Quick break. We'll return to the Gregor Show here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for slushy lovers. Because while a slushy keeps you cool as an 80s song for a moment, AC from Legacy keeps you cold as ice all season long. A permanent full-body slushy sensation keeping you cold as ice with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Keeping you cool without the brain freeze. That's how you build a legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal's only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay you to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Sharing. It's simple. It's what we were raised to do. But somewhere along the line, the world got bigger, colder, and the idea of sharing got lost. But not its service. Because when you bank with us to reach your goals, we share our profits in cash, just for banking with us. From mortgages, investments, daily banking, and more, our profits circle back to you. Bank more, get more money back. Full Circle Banking, only at Service Credit Union.
Up for a ride that truly matters. Join the Princess Auto Ride for Dad Edmonton, where hundreds of motorcycles fire up and roll out together in one unforgettable moment. Enjoy a scenic route, great food, amazing prizes, fundraising awards, and a whole community riding shoulder to shoulder. Collect pledges to support prostate cancer research and awareness in the fight against prostate cancer. Ride strong, ride proud to make a difference on Saturday, June 13th, starting at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku. Register now at ridefordad.ca.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think,
Wow, great hair transplant.
I want them to think,
Wow, great hair.
go to drvancelliot.com and contact us today.
Barbecue season. Nothing like a great steak. Which reminds me, Metal Supermarkets has even created custom grill tops for rusted old barbecues. Just one of the many special requests they've received over the years. You'll be amazed what their skilled crew can do. Barbecue grills to grills for classic cars. Sky's the limit. Speaking of sky, that's a lot of smoke up there. And fire in the hole. My steak. So long, sirloin. Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu price order when you enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Could turn the Jays game on. 5:30. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Lots and lots of texts coming in. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hope you are having a fantastic Thursday. Lots going on in the world of sports. Dylan Larkin asking for a trade. The Carolina Hurricanes in a must-win situation tonight. The New York Knicks are leading the NBA final after a 105-95 victory on the road in San Antonio. Jalen Brunson, 30-point game. Wasn't really great in his own words until really the fourth quarter, but this guy is the best fourth quarter player in the NBA. It's not even a debate. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2024, 2025, 2026. 6 years in a row. Fourth quarter playoffs, most points, Jalen Brunson. And his team, this is the first year they've been in the NBA final. And he still had the most fourth quarter points. This guy is money when the game's on the line. Money. And he was huge again last night for the Knicks. And I love it. They were an underdog. And they had a game plan. And it worked. Now, I don't think they wanted to miss as many shots. But when Wemby was pressured, then they didn't make their shots. But the problem was they made shots from far enough away the basket that he wasn't there for rebounds. And then that's where they feasted. And that's really where they won the game on second opportunities, because they were only 2 for 16 on shots where Wemby was the primary defender closest to the shooter. 2 for 16, couldn't make any shots, but they rebounded on those missed shots and scored points, and that's really what won them the game. So good for that. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. A lot of text flying in. Hey, Gregor, Barzell and Larkin have won nothing. Nurse has played on a winner. He's worth more. Dean and Clairview. Well, I'm not sold on Matt Barzell and what his worth is, to be honest. Like, if it was a Barzell for Larkin trade, New York Islanders got to add more than just Barzell. No question about that. I'm just, with the rumblings of him wanting to maybe be moved out, that maybe, but is that a sideways move for Dylan Larkin? Probably. That's why I put Minnesota. Donnie P had Montreal. I think that's a valid one. They're a playoff team, but it's in your division, so they're going to have to pay more. Anaheim. Don't sleep on Utah. I could see Utah being a team that would take a swing for sure with Bill Armstrong. And I can never count out Vegas. I just don't know how they do it, right? Like a lot of their best forwards are older. So how would you be able to do it, right? I'm not sold. Florida, no. Tampa Bay, I don't think so. Toronto, definitely not. Because, why is Larkin going there? He wants to win. So, or at least, I don't even know if he, of course, every player wants to win a cup. He just, I think, wants to be on a winning team after missing the playoffs for 10 consecutive years. I can understand it. I get it. That's a long time with And really, outside of last year, they haven't been that close, right? The other team, I think they'd have interest, but I'm not sure if that's the main thing that they need. I know that Jason Robertson is some question marks, but they got Wyatt Johnson. Matt Duchesne getting older, so yeah, but you got Rupe Hintz and you got Wyatt Johnson, right? So I don't know if they need a center. But like with Jason Robinson for Larkin, now is Detroit going to want to pay? Just the reality, you might have to. But I could see that one making some sense to me because Detroit's not going to want to have to take a real, huge step back. It's going to be hard not to in this trade, but that to me is what's going to be their biggest plan. They haven't made the playoffs for 10 years. They want to try to find a way to get in it. So, hey, Gregor, what about Natchez for Larkin? Yeah. It's a winger who makes he makes $3 million more than Larkin starting this season. He's up to 11.6. Good player, but how good is Natchez away from McKinnon? That's the question. Because he's been a great fit in Colorado. He's fit in extremely well, scored a boatload of points. But he was not remotely close to the same productive player away from McKinnon. And now he's an $11.6 million guy. That's kind of a tough one for me, man. I don't know if I see that for sure. Hey, Gregor, I have to say I agree with you more than Speck on Nurse. I think Nurse is a number. Well, he's definitely a second pair defenseman. Like, I'm sorry. He's a second pair. Go around the league. We can go through every team. Hey, Darnell Nurse has some deficiencies, but I'll tell you, if you watch players on other teams every game, you'd realize you like things about them. They have more deficiencies. But when you don't watch a team every night, you're not going to have the same opinion on a player. But I'm telling you, like, unless you think Paul Coffey's a complete buffoon, which I don't think people do, who did Paul Coffey play the most minutes 5-on-5 for the Oilers defense in the playoffs? Darnell Nurse. Darnell Nurse in the playoffs this year, when he was on the ice, they outscored Anaheim 7-3. It's the best goal for differential of any of the Oilers' 6 defensemen. You can't tell me he's a number 4. Like, I'm sorry. Right? He's been a very productive 5-on-5 player in his career. He's got some warts to his game. I don't discount that. But I'm not going to suddenly say he's a number 4. Like, come on. I think people, like, on some teams, sure, maybe. But that list is extremely, extremely short. You put Darnell Nurse on, like, some other teams, when you have a commitment defensively, but a lot of them, like, I'll tell you, there'll be teams that would trade for Nurse because he can skate, and there'll be teams that look and say, hey, we get him here. And the one point with Speck I agree on, you get to another organization, it's just different. Like, how you do things in your organization can be good. Heck, the Oilers made the 2 Stanley Cup Finals. They're not that bad. Like, people talk like the Oilers are awful. Like, I kind of chuckle at that. But they just didn't win. Right? If they would have won Game 7, it's funny how one game would completely change everything and how people view it. One game. Right? One game. So I'm all for trading Darnell Nurse, but I don't think you have to underestimate his ability. Hey, Gregor, I wish the Oilers weren't so emotionally attached to players like Vegas from Cam. Well, you look, are the Oilers emotionally attached? Like, I don't know. Like, Darnell Nurse played a lot of minutes on your team that went to 2 Stanley Cup Finals. Like, again, he's not awful. He has some deficiencies. But go back to that game, Game 7, they lost 2-1. Did Darnell Nurse make a play that cost you the game? Was he atrocious in that game? No. Pretty sure he was on the ice for the only goal the Oilers scored. So I think at times people get emotional, they get upset, and they want to make players worse than they are. I mean, Darnell Nurse is a number 2. Darnell Nurse on some teams would be a number 2. Right? He's not number one because he doesn't run the power play. And I know he played power play a little bit here in Edmonton, but that's on the elite power play. Right? And he was on it. Wasn't a major contributor of it, and that's fine because the other guys are. Or like Bouchard's unique because of his shot. That's what makes him the third most important piece on the power play. But even Bouchard, as dominant as he is offensively, still only the third most important piece of that PP. Don't fool yourself. Hey, Gregor, what about Nashville? I could see them having interest in Nurse. Oh, yeah. I look at their blue line for sure. But what would Nashville? Now, Nashville's an interesting team. So you go to Nashville. I don't know. Obviously Nurse, when you've been to 2 Stanley Cup Finals, you can't get much closer. He'd want to win. And I don't know if Nashville is that close, but there's other aspects to Nashville. I don't know if Darnell loves, like, at times I don't like the little bit, the woe is me. And I think part of it comes from his parents and everybody's against him and all those things. And that's not really the case. Like, some days he plays bad, you can say it, but I don't think that Darnell Nurse has had, he's had some social media anger, but that's going to happen in any market. I look at Nashville and I say, okay, like Roman Yossi's, Brady Shea, Nick Hague, they got pretty good decor, right? The problem is those guys are all lefties. So that's why I'm not sold that it's a fit, right? Like they got all 3 of those guys as lefties. So that would probably be the one. I'll be fascinated to see if a Nurse deal gets done. And if it does, is it for a defenseman? I know the easy one that everybody's talked about, and I haven't repeated it, is the Morgan Riley one. And I could see that on some levels. But does Darnell Nurse want to go to Toronto? Are they in a rebuild? Where are they going? Right? He's got a 4-year deal. If he goes there, now you're kind of locked into that. So we'll have to see. Hey, guys, much as I don't love the contract, we have to retain. It's not worth it. The odds are we would have to retain. So you retain $2 million, replace him with a $6 million deal, and you're essentially back at $8 million. What's the point? I just don't see it moving in our favor at all. From Brad. Well, you know what? That's why the GM, they get paid big money to figure out problems. That's their job. So if you want to trade Darnell Nurse, and I do know that the organization management is open to doing it. I mentioned that last year. That there's some people that feel like, hey, a trade would be worth it. And going to another team can be a breath of fresh air for a variety of different reasons. And maybe it'd be better for Nurse. So we'll see. But I don't think it's going to be quick. The Larkin trade, I'd be surprised if the Dylan Larkin trade doesn't happen before July 1st. I think there's a very good chance it would happen before July 1st. At the draft, if Detroit, I don't think they want other picks, but maybe that would be one piece of it. But I could see Detroit wanting to rectify this sooner than later. We'll take a final break, come back. We got Cam Tate on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance. When you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
The Lawnmower Hospital. You've enjoyed a long winter with your Ego snowblower, but now it's the time to get ready for spring. Bring your summer Ego equipment in for service. Or if you're looking to add to your lawn care fleet with new mowers or trimmers, Ego has a wide selection of products to fit every season. Ego also has the powerful wet-dry vacuum and pressure washer to make your cleaning and lawn care a breeze. We're more than repairs. We're more than mowers. The Lawnmower Hospital.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.548 rolling through. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. On a busy Thursday, of course, we'll have the Jays and the A's. Not the A's, the Braves and the Jays coming up at the conclusion of our show. Tomorrow, of course, hey, we're going to preview, is Carolina down 2-0? Are they tied? What about the Knicks? Could the Knicks win 2 in a row in San Antonio? And the green and gold, the
14.
Elks are on the road in Ottawa. We'll have lots of coverage talking about the Elks. They start another season. There's a lot of hope in Edmonton for football fans. Can the team deliver? Can they win their first game of the season since 2019? We'll find out Saturday. Now, welcome back to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time for the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home year, no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer long at legacyheating.ca. Here's the man, the myth, the legend, Cam Tate.
Landon DuPont, Everett Silvertips, Phenom. I said it, I meant it, and I will not be taking questions. Jim Matheson, Hockey Hall of Famer, post-media institution, a man whose byline causes general managers to spill their coffee, had a piece yesterday on DuPont weighing a jump to the NCAA. When Maddie writes, you read it. You sit down, you find a comfortable chair, and you give it the full respect it deserves. DuPont's situation is not just a story, it is a signal flare, fired directly at the WHL's boardroom ceiling. Here is why. As of August 1st, 2025, the NCAA voted to make CHL players eligible for Division I hockey, provided they are not paid beyond actual and necessary expenses that do not include a boat, or a PlayStation, or a boat with a PlayStation on it. For decades, lacing up in the dub meant your college eligibility was gone. That wall is now rubble, and players are walking through it with their gear bags. Kyle Chizowski, Portland Winterhawks, to Denver. Ty Halliburta, Vancouver Giants, to Colorado College. Hunter Parr, Saskatoon Blades, to Union. And the list keeps growing. But before we start picking out floral arrangements for the Dubs' eulogy, the WHL has awarded over 6,000 scholarships since 1993, more than $25 million. Over 375 graduate players attend 80-plus institutions every single year. This league has always invested in the person, not just the player. So, crisis or evolution? 5 indicators to watch: player retention, outbound NCAA volume, development outcomes, draft trends, and, above all, what actually serves the kid. That last one is the only scoreboard that matters. Organ donor card. Enough said. Already. 2-minute warning. Gregor, Callan Halley, and there he is, Donnie P. Back with the Duke in the morning, where Friendly Friday goes to Manhattan Beach. This is Cam Tate. Sports. 1440.
It will be interesting to watch, and you look at the decision making of some of the kids. Like you just look at Denver's blue line. Like Daxon Rudolph just committed to go there, but they're stacked. You're going to go there, and the team's going to be good. The coach might be good, but your personal development, he's not going to get to run a power play. Like there's things here that I'll be, and I know people look and say, oh, it's only 1 year and yada yada. Well, okay. But it's a pretty big year of development. And I'm going to watch to see, because you won't know after 1 year, but how is it impacting players moving forward? Like there's no chance everyone's talking about DuPont to Denver. Why the hell would he go to Denver? Yeah, he's great, but they're all really good. Like, well, they all you get the power play one time and then I get the power play the next time. Like, that's not what you want. You want to get as many reps as you can. So I don't see that happening at all, but we'll see. You can check out my Instagram, Sports1440 Instagram. We got a sick new mural wall here right outside the studio that encaptures a lot of great things, got a lot of the iconic things about Edmonton. I freaking love it. Even that they got the old school sign, City of Champions. Awesome. God, that was one of the worst decisions our city made. Like it still just bothers me that I don't have pride enough in your city to keep that name. Like, give me a break. Anyway, enjoy the games tonight. You got baseball, you got football, you got hockey. It's awesome. You got golf, of course, and more. On behalf of Connor Howling, Donovan Paulson, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see some of you maybe tomorrow at the Smash Out MS Golf Tournament, and then we'll be in here for the afternoon to do the show. Have a great Thursday. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. They've got all your vehicle needs and more. Their digital vehicle report. They don't just tell you what your car needs, they'll show you. Book your appointment today, fountaintire.com. Good night.
The Sports 1440 update.
We're about 10 minutes away from puck drop out in North Carolina as the Kings get the Golden Knights game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Vegas leads 1 game to none so far. Off the ice, Red Wings captain Dylan Larkin has expressed his interest in a trade from the team after 11th season after they missed the playoffs for the 10th consecutive year. Larkin was originally drafted by the Red Wings 50th overall in 2014. CFL season is officially underway after one quarter. Hamilton and Montreal are scoreless. Of course, tomorrow you got Calgary, Winnipeg, then Saturday, Ottawa hosting your Edmonton Elks. Major League Baseball, Jays in action. They are tied with the Braves. 0-0 in the bottom of the second. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the upcoming commercial break. You also got the Royals on top of the Twins 1-0 early on. Earlier today was the Phillies falling to the Padres, or over the Padres 6-4. Orioles dropped the Red Sox 8-2. Yankees double up the Guardians 2-1, and the Brewers falling at home to the Giants 12-9. Later tonight, Cubbies host the Athletics, the Pirates in Houston, and the Dodgers taking on the Diamondbacks. The Edmonton Riverhawks fell today to the Victoria Harbor Cats, wrapping up that series. They're on to Nanaimo to kick off a weekend series. And for the Canadian men's soccer team, head coach Jesse Marsh confirming that Maxime Crepeau will be the starting goaltender when they get the World Cup going next Friday. That'll do it for us here on the Gregor Show. Up next is Blue Jays baseball on the AM dial if you're streaming Fox Sports Radio. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download